It's Intellectual Inspiration episode 3. Alright. Look,
What's
man,
up,
it's
everybody?
Friday. We feeling all right. We doing great. Look, man, we got some fresh content coming for y'all real soon, man. I got some stuff, man. Shout out to my man Vic. You know what I mean? Shout out to Lola. Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to the whole team, man. And three,
What's up,
Ruby
y'all?
Dog, City, Grace, Lady E, Cookie, um, Nisi, Queen, man, the whole team, man. Who else? Who else on the team, man? If I'm forgetting somebody, please forgive me. Um, Dang, I said Lola already, right? Miss Polly, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the whole motherfucking team.
Bam
Yo, you
Bam.
know what I
What's
mean?
up?
Definitely Ruby Doll in the building, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Kaya Storm,
Hey,
you know what I mean? Shout out to her too. You know what I
shout
mean?
out
Shout
to
out to
Kai
everybody,
Storm.
man. Yeah, shout out to Stan Joseph. You know what I mean? Stan, I spoke to you earlier. What's going on, bro? Shout out to you. Shout out to the whole team, man. Let me drop this music real quick. Get
Yeah.
everything going. Find my music real quick. My music down. No, not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Here we go. We
Uh oh.
chilling right
Uh
now.
oh.
We chilling right now. We chilling right now. You know what I mean? We chilling right now. You know what I mean? Let me take a quick pause for the pause real quick. You know what I mean? Give a shout out to my man PH Texas. He giving a shout out to Smitty. What's going on, PH Texas? Good to see you, brother. What up? What up? What up?
What's up?
Yeah, man. All right. So it's Intellectual Inspiration, episode 3. You know what I mean? Hosted by Ruby Doll. Also got, you know what I mean, the other team here, you know what I mean? Smitty, another family member here, you know what I'm saying? You know how we rocking out. What's going on, y'all? Ruby Doll, what's up?
Hey, what's up, everybody? I feel so I'm so elated right now, and I think that some of it has to do with I smoke copious amounts of marijuana, and other is just like the choice to be happy. Like things are so calm and there's no calamity, and so for that I'm grateful. So I want to give thanks to the Most High always for blessing me and my family. I mean that shit.
Okay, Ruby, I like that. Like, I mean that. You know what I mean? Let's go. Smitty, what up, man? What's going on?
I think you already know. Any day that I wake up is a day that I'm not complaining. This is another day for us to correct anything that was possibly wrong yesterday and or properly prepare for tomorrow to come. So, with that being said, I feel great. I digress. My mic is muted. Let's go ahead and get this going. Ruby Dog, what you got for us?
I
So,
believe you. Oh yeah, don't you have some videos, Mr.
I
Best?
took out the video. So, Smitty, this is Smitty. Hey, my name is Smitty. I used to be an R&B singer between 1970 and 1987. You know what I mean? But I don't even look my age. I just want y'all to know that. But yeah, that was the time I was doing my R&B thing. Please tune into my jams. You know what I mean? I got a whole list of music that y'all can listen to. Rock out. My mic is muted.
You
Okay,
know
now
what? Hey, he dropping them gems. I do have a question for you guys. On a scale of 1 to 5, how much do you enjoy rap music?
5.
Okay.
Are you talk what you hold on? What I listen to, hip hop wise, rap wise,
Yeah, like
or
okay,
what?
let me reframe that.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a specific reason why I'm asking you guys. I'm working on a a project where I'm rapping over a pretty famous beat that is by Pap. I forget the name of the producer, but Papoose is on this jam. Remy, Busta Rhymes, like this. It's Lil Wayne. You know, there's this whole like all star thing on this like dope ass beat. And so I'm like, you know what? My rebirth into the music industry or into this creative outlet is going to be since the Rue the Gypsy died, the one that, you know, the music that's out already. This rebirth will, it's going to come out like a bang, like it's the 4th of July. Something that you guys, like a beat y'all already heard. This is like a marketing tactic, right? So I get on this beat, I kill it, and then I'm like, oh, by the way, this is my new shit. I just wanted to share that with you guys since we're talking about each other's lives, and instead of just being like, I was giving you a very general, I wanted to give you something more specific. And I can't wait to share that with you two specifically when I'm done recording it tomorrow.
All right, and we will be right here ready to listen.
Most definitely, most definitely.
School bangs. That's what's up. But what else do we have on the plate? Do we have some videos? What we got going on?
I got a lot of stuff going on, and salute to Ruby Dog for getting back in the creative bag. You know what I'm saying? I know somebody. We gonna come out with an Intellectual Soapbox album. All right, the album's coming. All right, I'm gonna just say the album is coming. All right, we gonna have the album's coming. That's all I'm gonna say. The album's coming, and it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be like one of the best mixtapes ever. Salute to Debbie Howard. You know what I mean? What's going on? What's going on? Salute to you. Much love. You know what I mean? So I do have a video. Let me pull it up, okay? And I want to hear what people think, you know what I'm saying, and what's on their minds, all right? As always, the link is pinned in all of the chats. You know what I mean? Y'all know where to find us. Good evening to Lady E. Lady E, I see you in the building. Also, salute to my man, Von Eric. Von Eric, what up, baby? I see you up in the building as well. You know what I'm saying? Let me find this joint. There you go. Okay, I got it. Boom. So this is my brother Ali Sadiq. You know what I'm saying? He about to really spit some real. You know what I mean? Fair use as always. Let's get it.
Think about kid. Nigga, I'm solution based. I don't listen to problems to gossip with niggas. And I understand. But niggas don't have no fucking heart. You can't go to war with niggas who love tangible things. And niggas talk that fucking warrior shit, but these niggas is so unproven. But you give your loyalty to niggas who are unproven, who do shit for money, and that's it. They don't do shit for the love of the people. And the biggest commodity of anything is the fucking people. It's no you without the people. Don't give a fuck how much money you got. With no people, nigga, you're nothing.
Let's get it. I'm here. Let's go. I'm ready for it. Let's get it. Also, salute to the brother Sincere. Sincere, what up, baby? Anybody can kick it off. I'm here.
Oh, okay.
This is Ruby Doll show. I mean, I thought, go ahead. You direct us. I'm right here with you.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. As I was watching that, I was just getting like, there's something like motivation, right? There's motivational speakers, and then there's inspiration. So with motivation, which none of it is bad, it's all good, of course. But I think with like a motivation and pump up, raw feelings they come and they go. And I think that if we can be truly inspired by something, maybe even something like simple, I really love finding magic in the mundane, because it's like, I feel like if it gets any better than this simple thing that's happening right now, it's like I feel like I'm winning the lottery. So I think perspective has a lot to do with it. I love the way that the man was addressing just the power of the will and that we can do. But I think it's also important for us to remember that amongst being like excited and having like that, it's like, those pep rally feelings, it's not gonna always be like that. And so the question should be, what would inspire us? Or actually, let me rephrase that, because it's probably not a question for anybody. When I watch that, I feel what should inspire me.
Okay.
All right.
Ready to kick it up, bro.
Yeah. That was beautiful, sis. Nice. Definitely something that I can see being the perspective from the feminine perspective. So I mean that sounds pretty accurate. Uh, what I heard from a man to another man, uh, especially as a man who does, I would say, encompass a lot of what it was that he's speaking of. I can't be around people who, basically have too much love for the trinkets, if you want to say. Why is that? Well, because when you got folks that real deal wake up and they say, today I will die for what it is that I know will be the benefit of not myself, those to come along after me. It's the reason why once upon a time we had something called kamikaze pilots. There's a reason why you have something called delete yourself bombers. Uh, Now, no matter how horrific or horrendous these things and how really idiotic a lot of it is, right? I do see the true dedication and loyalty within that as well. You are willing to crash this and or run in here and boom because there is something that you see that is beyond you. Men, when we operate in the mode and the fashion of I am ready to give my life for what it is that I know will be beneficial for those that come behind me. Because most of us, even though, let's just say we took it from a real chill, peaceful standpoint. If all of us right now started something that actually grew, it blew up, it blossomed, right? It's blooming. And this is something that's going to help the Black community. Whatever it really is going to do, and the real fruits of that labor, 9 times out of 10, not near one of us up here on this panel will be physically alive to see that. Will we be looking down from the heavens in God's will? Of course, right? But will we be here to actually see it? No. I'm saying that to say we do recognize that the people that look at life based on trinkets, based on physical things right here, right now, that's the person that won't give their life. I can't have dudes like that on the front line. I can't have you in the middle of the line nor in the back. I can't have you in the air. I can't have you be the niggas that I got inside of submarines on the aquatic missions. I cannot have you on the team because your headspace is not that of someone who knows all of this shit don't mean nothing. I am going to go away from here. And when I go away from here, what really do I leave behind? And the man who puts trinkets before legacy is really honestly the poster child man of stand for nothing and fall for anything. Because them trinkets, they're as genius as the Egyptians were. That's the one thing I really do look at that they got completely wrong. It's thinking you can take that shit with you. You should already know these things and much, much more is already over there waiting for you. This is for the earth. But with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. Rock out.
Thank you, Smith.
Got my brother Sincere in the building. Sincere, anything you want to
What's
build
up,
on? Ruby
Sincere?
How y'all doing? How y'all doing, man? What's up? What's up with you?
Sincere? Hold on, Sincere. Ruby, though, anything you want to say after what Smitty just shared?
Oh no, I was just saying thank you to him and saying hello.
Okay, Sincere, go ahead, bro. It's on you.
Well, I want to stay on topic. So, what was it based off? I don't want to get off topic. I want to make sure that I stay on topic before I give input.
Oh, Mr. Best just showed a clip, a motivational clip, and we are just giving our thoughts about it. And so, I don't know, do we need to show the clip again, or what should we do right now? Did you want to give your or your input?
Hey, just play the clip again for the brother. I think that'll be
Yeah,
best.
it's okay. Yeah, playing the clip is okay.
Kenny, give him a rundown real quick because I'm doing something in the background. So just give him a rundown of the clip.
So basically, in the rundown in the clip, what the guy's basically saying, from at least what I'm picking up, is when it comes to anything that you want to accomplish in life, I can't have people around me that are more concerned about, let's say, the physical attributes of this world as opposed to the greater purpose. So if you're more concerned about the fancier things in life, then really you're not somebody I want on my team. Now, if you're somebody who has a deeper outlook and perspective when it comes to what it is that really needs to get done and who it should be for, which of course we all know is not for you yourself, right? Uh, that's primarily I would say, the gist of what it is that he was speaking about, along with some other things. But go ahead, rock out.
I agree with that statement because, like he's saying, people that are like worried about all the materialistic things, they like hold you back. They not trying to really motivate the people. They just looking at the finer things in life than the real goal. So I agree with the clip when he says that. The man.
Absolutely. Mr. Best, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, man, our brother Ali Sadiq was right on par, man. We got to get back to the essence of really caring about each other. You know what I'm saying? Get back to the essence of really being about our people and not being about what somebody has or who somebody is or their status or some of the other stuff. Because all other stuff is gonna fade, and what's gonna stand is who you are, who your true person is. You know what I'm saying? And I just want people to understand that doesn't mean that you're gonna be a perfect person. All right, so I know a lot of y'all some people get fixated on people being perfect or always getting everything right. No, that's not what's gonna happen. That's not life. People are gonna have their stuff. We all got our stuff. You know what I'm saying? All right, so imperfect people need to stop looking for perfect leadership. Salute to my man Grizz. What up, Grizz? What's good? What's good? You know what I mean? So understand that. You know what I mean? And understand that we have to care more about each other and actually being our best and giving our all to each other than physical attributes of money. Those things do have significance in life. Don't get me wrong, but they cannot be the end all and be all. That's all I gotta say.
And you know what? Also,
go ahead, Ruby. No. After you. Go ahead. After you.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say that we tend to talk about relationships a lot, but in it like a business setting, like let's think about your boardroom and then the people in your board meeting or that are sitting around the table that's going to take your vision and manifest it. And so it's like everybody in that boardroom, everybody that's within this project or whatever you're doing has to be of a certain caliber. And these things that we're talking about have nothing to do with anything man-made. These are things like values. These are things like character traits. There are things like, is this person going to sell out when the going gets tough, type of a thing. And so because we have those human traits, it's okay to be cynical, and it's okay to be like, okay, who's around me and what does this say about me and how does this help me towards my goals? That's all I wanted to add.
Yeah. No, that's what's up, Ruby. Good stuff, sis. Good stuff. Look, when it comes to, I would say, now, so reiterate to me the last piece in which it is that you were saying, because I want to make sure that I don't misquote you or anything. So what was that last part that you were saying?
So the last part I said is that money and material things do have a value, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they do not have the ultimate value, right? They are not more important than human life or human decency or us being there for each other. They're not more important than that. You know what I mean? So that was my last statement.
Okay, so you have to recognize, and we all have to recognize also, what is it that people value? Now, you have some people that in their upbringing, and let's just say whoever is around them, the way they're brought up they're not brought up in really a way in which they can see the true value of what life holds. They don't really see too much of people getting praise based upon things more organic. Now, if you're continuously seeing something, and you do hear people speak about it, and maybe even people closer to you and folks that you respect, you will listen, you'll hear them. But then when you step out into society and continuously you're being bombarded with this thought process of, it's really all about the bag. It's about you. Uh, I mean, eat all the way down to little sayings, as funny as it may be at times. Fuck them kids. All of these things can play a part in a person's
Real talk.
headspace and how they think. You see? So when you're talking about the money's not more important, the way society is geared, it's geared to the point where nothing is natural, nothing is organic, and everything is, all right, well, pay for it, get it done. So what does that then tell people? If you don't have money, you not shit. So it's real hard to kind of turn back that hand in that sense, I would say. But with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. Rock out.
Absolutely. And I wanted to share.
Go ahead, Ruby.
Well, I wanted to share a very personal story about the disbandment of my family. Prior to this, tragedy, it was like I felt like I had everything. I was the wife, I had the house, the cars, the picket fence even. We had the careers, we had the businesses on the side, kids trying to do their business, you know what I mean? And I feel like with all the regrets that one could possibly have, I think the only regret that I have was that we didn't have more of a solid relationship with deity. We didn't have more respect for God, the higher divine. And we were like, we were kind of like thinking that we was the shit for real. Like that we were invincible. And all that shit came tumbling down very fast, very swiftly, to where it gave me some PTSD where I was like, I don't know if I can love again. Not for like in a sense, like, so it's like, but what I've gained from I would say the calamity was just a really strong sense of like self, because at the end of the day, as the saying and the scripture goes, we come into this world naked and we're going to leave it naked. And so it's like, to me, values and things are everything. And what I thought I wanted before and what I thought was important before, it's like, why? Was I trying to prove something? Was I trying to be good, be the best civilian, be the best daughter that I could do and follow in these footsteps? I had to ask myself a lot of questions. Hey, Griff, thank you for joining us.
Hey, good evening. How y'all doing?
Very well. Thank you for joining the conversation. Do you have anything to add, or do you need us to refresh anything?
You have rebuttal. So what I'm hearing is, what do we hold value to us, right?
Yes.
Me personally, time. I value time with loved ones and friends. I value knowledge. Like if I don't know something, I'm like very quickly to understand a word, a phrase. Like I actually know what I'll give you an example right now. So I'm not the best DP in the world, but so I truly have friends who say, "Hey, Quentin, here, I'm gonna give you homework. I need you to look over this homework and go do this homework, and I'm actually working on doing the homework that they tell me to do too. And so I hold true friends valuable to me. I hold family valuables, and just the way I use my time. Money is valuable ish. I just find money is more of a tool to get certain things. Money is, it just like just like how you have a hammer, a wrench, and whatnot. Money helps you to buy clothes, buy shoes, buy your and honestly, and I hate saying this. Money helps with your health. If that makes sense, yeah. But I digress. My mic is muted. I'll holler.
It certainly helps in this game of life. I look at it like Monopoly. I'm not gonna say that I don't like eating like nice things that would require the money, but it's more like a game to me. And I have this certain amount of money, like this figure in my mind that I want the universe to bless me with, and yeah, that's how that, and I just want to utilize it to take care of like everything. You know what I'm saying? Do you guys have a fixed amount of money that would make all of your financial issues go away?
Honestly, I'm playing this. So, I know in the career that I'm working on getting, in the career that I would love to have $1 billion. This may sound like a lot, but I would definitely love to have $1 billion for a lot of reasons. One being, I would use that $1 billion to establish my film production company, copyright, trademark, everything. Also, too, another thing that I would love to do is create a studio art center for kids, ages 5 and maybe 5 or 6 and over. Teach them how to write scripts, how to act on camera, and basically, it's the Boys and Girls Club mixed with the Art Institute. I would start establishing something like that, and honestly, help whoever needs help with their business. I would help them to finance, their business.
It was breaking up a little bit, but last we heard, this is what's that?
So, what's the last thing that you heard?
That you wanted a center for children ages.
Okay, so I would actually call it the Studio Art Center, where kids ages 5 up to high school can come and learn how to do photography, how to do film, how to do acting on stage and camera, how to help them to learn about business as well at a young age. Because I feel like helping kids to find a direction at an early age.
Cool. Certainly. You can also get some grant writers to help you with that too. But that's of course a great way to spend money. How about you guys?
What, spend the money?
No, like, is there a figure of money in your mind that would help relieve all of your financial problems in this matrix that we call this society?
I'm not rich. You know what I'm saying? I'm not what society would be considered rich. But because of previous choices in my life, I'm set for life. Like, I don't have any financial burden. I can get food when I want. I don't worry about gas. I don't worry about cable. I don't worry about back to school clothes. I just don't. Again, I'm not rich. I'm not balling. But I manage and I control my shit right. So I always got a little something to splurge if I want to. So I don't really go through that. I be chilling. Rock out.
Mr. Best?
For me, if you just gave me a cool million, I'll be all right. You gave me a cool million, I'll be cool.
Wow.
And I'll just kind of invest it, and then that'll just help me develop other things. You know what I mean? And that'll be it. I mean, I ain't. No. Yeah, that would help me to invest. You know what I mean? My money and really invest I'm sorry. I think I'm back. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, that helped me to invest my money and my time into different things. And yeah, that's all I need. Just a cool million, and I'm good to go.
Sounds good. Do you have another video as well, or should we keep the ball rolling?
All right, all right. I got another video for y'all. I'm about to pull up. Sorry from struggle streaming. Please forgive me. All right. Fair use as always. Okay, that's not the right one. Here we go. All right, let me mute up.
About bubblegum shit. Don't let money motherfucking make you compromise your integrity or your values, and fight. Don't go to sleep till you got enough money to pay for your kids and your girl. Don't smoke that weed if you can't pay a bill. And you might not need those sneakers if you can't pay a bill. And you might not need to go out. You know, most people go out as an escape to a life they hate. Create a life you love, so you want to stay in. But you have to architect that. You have to visualize that. And don't pay attention to the distractions, the negative bullshit, and what other people are doing. Because none of that shit matters. Don't worry about bubblegum shit. Don't let...
I love Mr. Dash. He always just makes so much sense to me.
Grizz, one of y'all go ahead. I'll get it.
Grizz, you can go first. And I would like, oh, you know what? I can't read all of the comments. Do we need to read any comments, you guys? Are we missing anything?
Self takes care of that.
No,
Okay.
salute, whatever, Smitty. Salute to 100 watts. Salute to M3. See you in the building. What up, M3? You know what I mean? Salute to Sister Foxy Moon Premiere. Salute, sister. Good to see you in the building. You know what I
What's
mean?
up, everybody? I saw my sis just star in the building. Hey, girl.
Yeah, salute to our family. Just saw Mr. Mina. You know what I mean? Our sister from the UK. You know what I mean? Because you know we international out here. You know what I mean? Salute to the homie. We on Lock Nation. What's good? We on Lock. You know what I mean? I'm glad to see you back out here, man, being creative. What's going on, bro? Also, salute to my man Raldo the Ruler. I see you, Raldo. What's going on, bro? Peace
What's
and
up,
blessings and love to
Raldo?
you, bro. You already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I mean?
For
That's
those
fun.
that, yeah, for those that are just joining in, we just saw this clip of Mr. Damon Dash just giving us game on just mentality. I would say it's not only good for mental health, but it's mastermind. He was giving mastermind advice. And so all I can say for me in a practical sense is I feel like ever since I made a commitment to like my own to taking action on my own goals, then I stopped being upset at like my baby father. I stopped just getting mad at anything. Like I'm so happy. I'm so happy these days. And it has nothing to do with money. It has a lot to do with time and how I choose to spend my time these days. But I can assure you that if you just develop, like, just know what you want clearly in your mind, because no one can do that for you. And then if you, like, let's say you don't know the logistics of how to get there, that's fine. That's where networking is super powerful. Surround yourself or acquaint yourself with people who are smarter than you. I love talking to people who are smarter than me because I want to learn. I want to be stimulated. And I want to be able to be of service too. And so I think the magic is in that, and knowing what you want, and also the networking aspect of it, because you don't have to do it alone. And then I think another thing is just the you have to have a sense of self-worth, self belief, right? And I think those are just ways that I turn to.
Okay. Him speaking about the aspects as far as, what did he say? He said, you don't need to get this right now. You don't need to get that right now. When my brother, Mr. Best, was asking me as far as, that number question, when I was referring to,
No, Ruby don't answer that question, not me.
oh, my bad. So, Ruby, when you asked me that question as far as, that number set in my head, the reason why I was saying, because of decisions I made from my past. As much as I have effed up in a lot of other stuff, one thing I can say that I'm very thankful for is that I never really fucked up my credit. I never really did a whole bunch of like loans. I was always, still am. I'm always a debit guy. I pay for my shit. I pay for it and go. I don't have time to be going back and forth with you people. Don't nobody call me about nothing. It's mine. I came there. I bought it. Bye. That's how I operate, right? Now, when he's talking about you don't need this or need that, I'm saying that as far as there's a whole lot of things I just chose not to do. I really did. I wasn't tripping off. I just gotta pay all this money and go here, go there. Just to, take some pictures and stunt real quick. But I'm gonna be in the rear behind this shit for a minute. I'm gonna be real tight for a minute behind this. I never really made those type of decisions. I was always the type, honestly, when it came to the financial aspect, I be thinking about my shit. I'm not just blowing my shit. I'm not just splurging it anywhere. I'm not just going out doing this and doing that because, let's just say it's the cool thing to do. That's not how I work. So what I have around me now, what I was able to accumulate, what I was able to put together, and even the discipline that I have right now, not to blow and squander my shit, because I can easily put myself in a hole. I could put myself in a hole by the time I log off of here and the sun rises. I could be real nice in the hole. But I won't do that because I'm going to take my black ass to sleep and I'm going to stay on my schedule. And we're going to keep things rolling the way that I obviously see is the reason why I can easily just turn on lights. I can go get my drinks if I want them. I don't be concerned about gas in the car. I don't be worried about none of these things. Now, these are the things that I look at as far as whether or not I look at, how well off a person is. Are you concerned about basic necessities? And so I figured, I nipped that in the bud. So I'm pretty good. So I don't be worried about it. And if you don't worry about those things when you're not supposed to be worried about those things primarily, there will be a time in your life where you will be able to reap the harvest. And I believe that even the word speaks about the harvest and how when the work is put in, you can reap, the benefits of the fruit that you've went on ahead and planted. But I digress. My mic is muted. Go ahead and rock out.
Discipline is key. So I heard a lot of discipline in that. Does anyone else want to share their thoughts? What's up, M3?
What's up, Ruby? Salutes to Mr. Best, Smitty, Griff. I just kind of came in late, so I didn't really grasp everything. I just heard a little bit about the discipline part, but what would be like the main topic that you guys are talking about?
Yeah, we were just watching some motivational videos together and talking about what we pulled from it. Like the last one we talked about was Mr. David Dash, just giving advice about how people tend to be worried about the wrong things. So he mentioned something like, don't buy the weed, for example, if you don't have money for the bills and stuff like that. And so I could actually... that stuck out for me because there was a point where I was doing just that, like just buying, taking care of things that I shouldn't have when it's like I need to be more responsible than this. So I've done it before, so I can't say I'm perfect, but having to worry about other humans really has helped me hone into that kind of mentality. So simplifying, not trying to prove anything to anybody so that you can make your dreams come true type of vibe, if you're catching my drift.
Okay, I get it. Well, here's my intake into it, because the thing is, that like, it's easy to say, or it's easier to try to have the thought to, like, okay, let me organize my lifestyle or prioritize certain aspects that at one point I was lacking in, but I would just go more deeper into, like, okay, like, what was the reason? What pretty much was like the non-driver motivation to pretty much sit back and, I don't know, let's say, for instance, for weed, for example, okay, like, what pretty much gets us into the point where we're just like, all right, I give up as far as prioritizing things that I need versus things that I want. Because a lot of times we get caught up into, like, the things that we want, but we know for sure that most of the times we're going to suffer at the end, because, we're indulging in things that's not really beneficial at the moment, at that particular moment in time. But you have a certain amount of bills or a certain amount of debts that you have to get off of. But we still keep getting caught up in pretty much the quick gratification, as opposed to switching our mindsets to the delayed gratification, which is going to be more edifying, as opposed to getting like a quick fix. So I think, like, anybody could be like disciplined, but it's like we have to go through, like, the root of it, of why, let's say, we as a people are making it hard for ourselves. We put ourselves in a space where it's like we want to fulfill, like, our addiction first before prioritizing anything that's supposed to be beneficial, if that makes sense.
Does anyone, hello, welcome to the queen that just joined us. Does anybody have anything to add to the discussion at hand?
Salute to Lisa on the panel. Salute. Also salute to my man, Information Man Show. What's going on, bro? Yeah, man, your Black History content is bomb, man. If you got a chance, Information Man, if you want to come up, man, come on through. Whoever wants to go next, go ahead.
I believe it's on the sister. Hold on, Grizz. Did you get in, Grizz?
Well, I just want to say this one last thing.
You go ahead, and then we're gonna get to the sister Venice, who just popped up. She just came up.
I know. I don't want to be rude. I'm gonna let the sister go first, my dude.
Grizz, you already talking, my nigga. Say what you gotta say so we can get to the sister. Go ahead and say it, Grizz. Say it with your chest, nigga.
Yeah.
Oh
yes,
my
sir.
gosh.
I know what.
We gonna get you right, Grizz. I just stick around, Smitty, just long enough. We gonna get you right, my G. I swear on life, we gonna get you all the way right.
Hey, Smitty, bro. Hey, know what? Hey, my dude, don't never change, bro. Honestly, bro, don't never change, my dude. But yeah, I was gonna say, I know what it's like to have an abundance of money, and I did nothing with it. But that was because I was living with my parents. I knew nothing about financial stability. I knew nothing about that. But now that I know about it, I'm working more diligently on making sure that bills are paid. I make sure that make sure that bills are paid. My son needs some shoes. But honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've literally had some money where and y'all may look at me sideways when I say this, but it feels good to have abundance of money in your pocket. But going broke to the point where you know that you took care of the household first before you took care of your own needs. I feel paying the bills and then going grocery shopping, and I was like, I only got like $5. I feel good, because I'm taking care of bills, taking care of the household and stuff like that. But because me and my wife, we were actually in debt at one point of our lives, and we took this course with Dave Ramsey, and we've been out of debt for about 8 to 10 years now. And so we've been, and we've been out of debt for like 8 to 10 years now, and then we've actually been staying the course for a number of years now, and still going out. But now we're working on like just putting more money to our savings, and I'm actually working on getting back into stocks and trading.
Awesome. Fantastic.
Let's go. That's my bro right there.
All right, then. Okay, now, Sister Venice, the floor's all yours. Go ahead, rock out. You got it.
All I wanted to add it was just as a community, just making better choices financially. Like I know people that put their drug addictions and they don't think it's an addiction, but if you're getting money for weed above everything else, and you can ensure you get money for that, you can ensure that you get money to pay your bills, you can ensure that you get money to, invest in the stock market, you can get money to do a lot of things. But people get money for the things that they want. And I think as a community, we just need to push the narrative of getting money to accelerate yourself, getting money so that you can become financially free, like Grizz was talking about, instead of, spending all your money on alcohol, clubbing, drugs, things of that nature. Like spend the money when you get your taxes, spend the money making sure you're in a better space financially this time next year, instead of just blowing it on a trip or blowing it just doing unnecessary things, because this is the time to prepare for the future. It's not a time to just play around with yourself, because that's what you're doing at the end of the day by not having discipline financially. And that's all I had to say.
Thank you, Queen. Hey, we're not financial gurus. I certainly am not, but these are just ways that help us. So we want to share that. Another hack that people have been doing is where they invest, like say you have a chunk of change, like $10K and whatnot. You can throw that into a life insurance policy, a whole life insurance policy, and then you can borrow from that and it continues to accrue interest, because it's not just a regular, it's a whole thing. But if you're interested in something like that, just talk to somebody like in the financial field that you really trust. This is just some game that I was given, and it's kind of going viral too, in terms of just different ways that you can think outside of the box, and also things that we didn't learn maybe from our parents, just because they simply didn't know. And so if you have any financial advice or any really kick-ass advice about getting proven, then go ahead and share it with everybody. Thank you very much. Anybody else?
Ruby, what I find fascinating, weird, and just odd all in one. So, I do recognize it, and I get it, Let's say it's YouTube politically correct. It's always say we're not experts. If I'm talking about parenting, as a father who has a child, my daughter being 16, she come along pretty damn good. I don't need to hear nobody talk about who's a professional or who's not. When it comes to, being able to manage and budget your life, if you are somebody, now I wouldn't say that's myself, but just for example, somebody who has a clear track record of budgeting and managing their life, I have no clue as to why they cannot put themselves in that same category. Now, if you're talking about giving people investment information and stuff, of course, that's totally different. Real estate, stay out of there, right? But it's a shame how, we got to say dumb shit like we're not relationship experts. But yet, all of us up here has been through more than enough goddamn experience, and not to mention, majority of these people that we hear so-called calling themselves the experts don't have half of most of us experience. Mm-hmm. I be listening to these people, I'm like, bro, I done been through, man, stop playing with me. You talking about that elementary shit. Stop playing with me. Get on my level. Real deal, get on my level. So I'm just, I just wanted to point that out as far as the last part to land it. The one thing we always are able to say is, but we are life experts. Well, what the fuck does life come with? Doesn't it come with relationships? Doesn't it come with financial? Doesn't it come with the kids? So I can say I'm a life expert, but I cannot say I'm an expert in all of the intricacies that we know life comes with. It's the weirdest shit. I just wanted to throw that in, but I digress. My mic is muted. Rock out.
I can dig that. I
One
like that
thing-
because I come off very narcissistic. I'm sorry, go ahead.
One thing I can add, like a piece of financial advice that my parents gave me, they set up a Roth IRA. I don't know if y'all know what that is, but you can set them up at banks, especially if you have children under 18. It's a good way to have a savings for them.
That's right, Queen.
The limit stops at like 7,000 this year. Last year it was like 6,500. So if you put like 7,000 up for your kids, by the time they turn 18, they'll have a good nest egg for college or their dreams or whatever. If they want to start a business without getting a loan, you've already put up like 7,000 a year for them. And saving $7,000 in a year is not a lot, but it's something so they won't, turn 18 and they have nothing to their name. They'll have something. And you can set those up at your local banks. Just sit with, a financial advisor at the bank and tell them you want to set up a Roth IRA account. It's basically like a high yield savings account. But if you're under 50, anyone can set it up, even if you don't have a kid. And you can put that 7,000 up and it's going to stay there. You can't, just go and get it randomly, because I know some people have savings.
Oh yeah, I have one.
Yeah, because some people have savings accounts, but you put like 300 or maybe 1,000 in there, and some come up and you touching your savings again, and you got to start all the way over. So it's good to have a Roth IRA, so you're accountable for the money. You can't just go get it whenever. It's something that you're saving intentionally. So that's all I had to say to add for financial advice.
Excellent. Appreciate you.
Okay. Let's go to the next video, y'all. Let's get it. Let me go to my next video. Let me see where my screen is at. Okay. I'm gonna go with this one first. All right, fair use, everybody, as always.
I want to appeal to our comedians to stop going after each other in public like this. You're embarrassing yourselves. You're embarrassing our community. I know many times you have to defend yourself about what's being said, but why can't we do it directly? And I just want you to know, I believe that we're being laughed at. At all the major studios and by their executives, seeing us in public, Black folks going at each other. You don't see this among other communities. And that's why I say you're hurting yourselves and you're hurting our community and you're hurting the young people who are looking and want to learn and need to learn how to resolve disputes in a better way. I'm no saint. I'm guilty of having temper issues from time to time on my show. That's entertainment. You guys say what you want as part of your entertainment, but don't go out your way and personally attack each other, particularly your families. I appeal to you for that. Let's not turn on each other. Let's turn toward each other. I want to
Go ahead, family. Y'all can build. We here.
Smitty, can you take the reins on this one, please, or Mr. Best?
I got you, Ruby.
Yeah.
So with this right here, all right, I am kind of turned out. I want us to notice. I want us to pay attention. All right, this is for all my third eye open folks. All right, because I was sitting there the whole time when he was saying that. He like, you should be going at your family folks, and I'm sitting here like, weren't you running for like 10 seasons or some shit, nigga? Like, we got endless clips of us on this man's show going back and forth with each other. He did throw in there, hey, but you know I'm guilty of it too. Yet he had to make sure he threw that in because it could easily be thrown right back at him. But I will say this. He is absolutely right. I speak about this all the time. Look, the fact is, do other communities go through what they go through? Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be real with you, dog. Man, when you talking about like certain African, Spanish, East Indian, all of that shit, Asian, bro, when I tell you the abuse, and I mean outright open abuse, and you can't say nothing. Nothing. It ain't no you being quiet because you're scared. You're being quiet because everybody knows and no one cares. So my point in saying that is there are other communities that got their shit way worse than us. Like if you really knew. But you want to know why a lot of this shit that goes on, we don't know? Because somehow or another they keep that shit behind closed doors. They don't air it out to everybody. Why? Because once you start putting everything out there, you're giving all of what you would consider to be your opposition ammo. Right now, at this very moment on this live stage, I could just be like, hold on, y'all. I just want to get some shit off my chest. And I can start going down the line and saying all of the most embarrassing, most shameful moments in my life. If I wake up tomorrow and there are hit pieces on me and folks doing whole 3, 4, 5 hour lives about the shit that I just said out my dumb monkey ass mouth, I cannot be surprised. The fact is that the reason why I personally guard my tongue and the things that I choose to say online and the things that I choose not to say online is simply strictly because I don't want to give whoever the opposition may be, whether it's those who share my skin tone and features or those who don't. I don't want to give nobody no ammo. And the one thing that we continuously do is we are quick. We are quick to go through a situation. And what do? We want to pull that phone out. We want to pull that phone out, put it on that person, and we want to start going back and forth with them. We're going through a fight. I've never seen two niggas getting ready to fight, and one nigga has a phone in his hand. I'm trying to figure how do you ball your fist? So when it comes to how we operate and putting our business out there, that's why I really do be saying, look, can we stop bitching? Can we stop complaining about what other people have to say about us in regards to how we act? Can we stop acting like we're surprised when we're not taken serious, considering what it is that we will put out? What they put out there, that's one thing. You know how we fire back? Put they shit out there. Embarrass them. Don't embarrass us. Don't keep going at us. Don't come at me. I'm you. You me. We each other. Like, don't come at me. Nah, let's get them niggas. But we don't think that way. So when it comes to that, I mean, you know, if I open my door and I shine a light and I show everybody the junk and trash and the filth and the stains on the wall and everything else and the odor coming out of it, can I really complain when they call sanitation on me? Can I really complain when they see the kids running around in that filth and CPS shows up at the door? Can I really be surprised and complain? Or should I know? I mean, it is what it is. I left the door open. I showed everybody the filth in my home and I let them hear all of the violent arguments. I let them see the fights in the driveway. But I want to sit here and I want to be like, nah, we should just go ahead and, you know, just remember that that's a good family over there. No, fuck that. That family is putting their shit out in the street. You know what's going to happen behind that? You going to see my shit out on the street. But I digress. My mic is muted. Rock out.
Mr. Best, did you want to go ahead and thank you, Smitty?
Salute to my brother Marcus. You know what I mean? I'm glad you checked in. You know what I mean? Salute. Yeah, man. I'm glad that the judge finally said something. It's about damn time. About time somebody said something and stood up and just really just put a cease to this foolishness, man. You know what I mean? It needs to be said. It needed to be put out there. You know what I'm saying? you know, and I think the push towards positivity is definitely something that we need to be pushing forward to. You know what I mean? We shouldn't be inspired and encouraged to do that. You know what I mean? Instead of talking about each other and getting on each other's neck, why don't we try to find solutions in order to move things forward? You know what I mean? As he said before, the ones that are in charge of the studios and set movie roles are laughing at us because they do not share our struggle, nor most of them don't share our complexion either. Okay? So they're laughing. They're like, look at them. They can't even be organized. Even if we give them, you know what I mean, resources and power, they can't even be organized. You know what I mean? So he's bringing up something poignant. One, because he's in the industry for himself, right? He's been in Hollywood. He had a successful show. Yada yada yada. He's a judge. We know what he's done, right? As Smitty said, he did it for over a decade, right? So he definitely did his thing. I used to watch the show too. The show was pretty good. They gave a lot of gems on there too. It was some riffraff from time to time. You know what I mean? But he definitely did. He definitely did a good job.
Nigga, wasn't no time to time. He was on for 10 years and running for a reason, my nigga. His shit was lit. Stop playing games.
It was. But he gave some jewels though during that time too. Though he gave some big jewels.
That's
I mean,
facts. No, he did. Facts.
yeah. There's one clip of like this dude, this uncle going at his nephew, and he ripped the uncle to shreds, boy. So and thank you also, Vemusa Kone. Hopefully I'm saying it correctly. If I butcher your name, I do apologize. You know what I mean? That's just my Brooklyn and also my American side coming out. You know what I mean? Please don't be mad. But thank you for tuning in. Appreciate
And
you.
him chewing food. Don't forget him chewing food.
I'm not eating right now, Demar. I'm not eating at all.
Okay.
But yeah, that's all I gotta say. I'm gonna pass the ball to Ruby or Nisi or Grizz. Y'all in.
Well, I just wanted to say something real quick. As somebody who, excuse me, I only know the Black community to be inclusive and welcoming. And I do like that we talked about, I think this can be applied to any culture of people, any group of people. And I think that yeah, it is disheartening. Like I remember seeing my aunts and uncles like fight, argue, and it just was really uncomfortable for everybody. And I think that there's a point too where I understand where he's saying that we can just take care of disputes probably in a more effective and efficient approach. And not just because there's always like, for instance, when he mentioned that the being laughed at part, you know what I mean? That's very possible. And the same thing can be said with my community when we do things to diss each other. But I think the main point is, and I think that's why I love how uplifting this conversation has been for the most part, because it's just all about that. It's about sharing ideas, because we have this collective experience, this human experience. And it's like, how can we improve the quality of our lives? And I think I just wanted to make sure that we're staying on that vibration.
One thing that I noticed, I don't know if you guys are noticing the trend in Hollywood that's trickling down to like everyday people. They're thinking, instead of just regular marketing, like, oh, I got to beef with somebody to promote what I got going on, or I got to get into it with someone, or, you know, just go against somebody to promote my next single or promote my podcast or promote my next comedy special, like we've seen with Monique and D.L. Hughley earlier this week. And then now she's promoting, you know, well, I'm going on tour with Cat Williams. It's like, did you start these conversations or start these arguments with people because you knew you had something coming up, or did you really have something you want to get off your chest to handle as a community? I think we're seeing a trend in music and comedy, like Judge Mathis said, where people are calling people out, saying their names, and speaking about their grievances without taking into account how it's making us look as a community. Like, oh, well, Black people just love drama. That's what's going to be the narrative for the next few months in promoting an album or promoting your next project, because the sentiment of just like, oh, tune into my show or buy tickets, I'm coming to a town near you, is going out the window. Previously, it was all about, you know, sex sales, and people were doing all kind of photo shoots and things of that nature to do promotion. But now it's like, well, let me start an argument with someone I've been had 20-year-old beef with because I know I got something dropping soon. And you can see that type of attitude trickling down to the podcast community, to different other areas of entertainment. And I just think the focus needs to be on the art, the creativity, the jokes, our creative nature, instead of the lowest vibration that we can bring, because it's really starting to affect the community and affect the youth and how they handle issues. And it's more so, well, if you're not standing on business and calling a spade, then you a sucker. And that's not the case. You need to have emotional intelligence. You need to know how to market yourself without drama. You need to know how to be a well-rounded individual. And I just think the community needs to tighten back up and not let Hollywood dictate how we promote our products or our different projects that we're promoting. It doesn't have to be drama all the time. Just like back in the day, it don't have to be sex all the time, even though it sells. And now we're just entering into an era where drama sells, and drama is what's going to get you ticket sales and attention in the media, or people to click on your items because they want to hear, what went down the last time. And that's not the way to move. We need to push positivity so that we can raise our vibration, like Ruby said.
I heard that, Queen. Get it. Thank you for that insight.
Okay, so Nisha, you had a quote you told me earlier this week. You said it was something about great people talk about something. I can't remember it, and I'm trying to remember it, and I'll be trying to remember it all the time, but I always forget it. Can you say that quote?
Small minds discuss other people and great minds discuss ideas. And you can tell, where a person stands if they're coming to you all the time speaking about other people, or did you hear what so-and-so said, versus, hey, let's learn how to work this platform so we can bring other brothers and sisters on so they can learn how to get money too. If the conversation is always drama, you're not raising, you're not being high vibrational, you're not pulling in your resources to build as a community like we see with other communities.
I've actually heard that quote before, and I love that quote. I've actually heard that quote before. I listened to a lot of motivational speeches as well, and that was one of my favorite quotes too. And to capitalize on what you're saying about Hollywood, so, doing my research about Hollywood and working on trying to get into the industry myself. Hollywood is a lot about drama in itself. Hollywood in itself is just literally all about drama. It's competition. Because I remember one time I've been there, it was just so oversaturated with this person want to make a movie, this person want to make a movie. Oh, you know the same thing I'm doing. Oh no, we can't have that. And so, and also too, but just more about Black people in Hollywood. We're still working on trying to be accepted in the Hollywood. But the thing is, but just say something. There's always going to be somebody, a middleman, or somebody else that may be in your camp that's playing both sides. That says, hey, Mr. Beth, did you hear what Smitty said about you? Hey, Smitty, did you hear about Mr. Beth? It's always somebody going back and forth, trying to put something to your ear. But that's something that I've actually learned about why there's so much drama in Hollywood or just in the entertainment industry, period.
Okay. You got our last video. I don't know if Ruby Dog wanted to say something before I get to my last video.
Oh no, go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Ruby. Appreciate your family. You go to my last video. Where's it at? Here we go.
Bro, how you doing? I got something on my heart. Can I share it with you? Holding everything inside doesn't make you strong. Just like showing that you're vulnerable doesn't make you weak. You tend to hold everything on your shoulders because that's how you was raised. But what if you didn't have to do that? It's good that you recognize that you need support, and that you're feeling exhausted. I'm proud of you. Because even Superman knew that he had a kryptonite.
Heartwarming. I'm really pro like mental health, especially for especially for men, because not because it's from more of a standpoint from like a mother and like a sister standpoint. Like I think a lot of my compassion is from that lens more than it is like from a lens of like a romantic partner. So when I see a man who expresses like I would say, vulnerability in any fashion, I just admire that, especially because it's not really a luxury that many men get to have. And I think it's even, I think as a woman, I know that I've taken for granted where I can just be like emotional, like just cause. So it's like, I think support is good. I think that we have a duty to each other to help each other be better.
Now that I'm done throwing up in my mouth 3 times. Excuse me. Yeah. That bitch made, nigga. Then he had the nerve to have the fucking soft ass piano with like geese being fed at the lake and shit, nigga. Like, get the fuck out of here. Shut that whole ass shit up, bro. I'm sorry. Because the fact is this, he said, what? Because even Superman, shut up, bruh, shut up. All them trying to give little catchy phrases, shut the fuck up, my nigga.
You're so mean.
Because I be catching the shit, and it's just some whole shit. Look, right, the fact is this. This is just what it is. Whoever wants to operate man-wise, however they choose to, that's on them. But these are the 2 results. Men only have 2 results. Hunt or be hunted. Eat or be eaten. That's the only options we have. I don't give a fuck how harsh it sounds. I know we like to make things. No, but I mean, you can have a steak dinner at times. Look. Everything that man's saying. And Ruby, I'm just sitting here laughing because it's like, I hear you. You admire that. But Ruby, let's just cut it out because that's the very nigga y'all don't want to be with. That's the very nigga. That shit real cute at first. Then after a while, that shit gets on your goddamn last motherfucking nerves. You can't stand it, soft ass. You can't stand the fact that this nigga don't have no backbone. You can't stand the fact that this nigga bitches down and coward whenever you see this man is supposed to stand up. You can't stand it. But at first, before you was with him, that shit was real cute. And then dudes like myself may be like, bruh, could you like cut all that whole shit out? Leave him alone. No. Leave him alone. He's just fine. Allow him to be more emotionally aware, incompetent. That's right. He should be able to express himself. And as harsh as it seems that what we're doing as the group of men around him, we're actually doing the most healthiest thing for him. We're reminding him to sink or swim out here. All right. Will you have your moments of laughter, peace, and rest? Absolutely. I have that all the time myself. But I don't never lose sight. Not for near 1 second. Not near 1 second do I ever think I can get up this bitch and start being emotional. It just won't work. Everything that you all see me as, whatever that might be, I don't know, because I don't talk to everybody about what they see me as, but you all see me enough at this point. Let me get up here and start crying on some whole ass shit. That'll fuck y'all heads up. All of that, nah, Smitty, you can go ahead. It's okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. You saying that. You saying that. See, me, I know better. I know better. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna save us from me by you know doing. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make sure I keep my shit in order. So the fact is that we can keep on trying to advocate for men being all super emotional in public all you want, because the fact is people keep missing this shit. And I'm gonna land it right here. No one, like even myself, if you hear me all the time when I speak about men crying or anything, I'm talking about actually shedding tears, snotty face, you got the ugly face going on and everything, eyes puffy, all of that shit. I say go off somewhere. I never advocate for a man not to release. You must. I even say it. The Son of Mary, the Messiah himself, has wept. So who are we? I've said these things multiple times. I think what's being missed is, I think we need to start making it a normality that these men is little of an example that we have nowadays of strong men around us. We should allow these niggas to just start crying on camera. They should be able to just bitch, whine, complain, and moan about every goddamn thing going on. And so, I mean, I'm going to just be real with you. Like, I'm telling you now, to any man, whatever little bit of respect that you may, believe that you have, I promise you a large degree of that has a lot to do with the fact that they may not see you as needy and they may not see you as bitchy and whiny. The very moment that you start exercising those attributes, I promise you, you're going to see a shift, and that shift is going to be faster than overnight.
Okay, Smitty, I have a question.
But I digress. My mic is muted. Watts, what's going on? Respect. Go ahead, rock out, Ruby.
Well, the question is, do you think that your stance on that is due to societal expectations of women?
No. That is due to the actual standards in the actual design and structure of nature itself. Nature reminds me, fuck a societal standard. That is the way the laws of this universe is written. You know what star swallows what star? The bigger star. Stars collide all the time. You know which one winds up being the one that's there, the one that was bigger. Period. You know which lion or which animal generally is desired more by the females, by the women in the community and stuff. The ones with the higher testosterone, the ones that are stronger, faster, more alert, so on and so forth. These are things that nature shows us. Long before there was any of these panels, the talking points, long before I even knew that I would use the word narrative so many times, these are things that I saw. And these are things that I've seen. I've seen what's happened when anything steps outside of those boundaries, when they transgress. Just listen, they can have a good run for a minute, but I promise you they never finish good.
Okay.
That's all I got to say to that. But I digress. My mic is muted. Rock out.
All right. Welcome, Mr. Watts. Welcome. Do you have anything, or Queen, would you like to share anything in that regard?
Salute to Steph in the building. Salute, Steph.
Let me get a shout out real quick to Wife School Podcast. I'm going to go to Sister Nisi, then I'm going to go to Watts. Also, salute to my man, Great Pill. I see you in the building. What up, Great Pill? So, Nisi, go ahead, and then I'm going to go to Watts, and then I'm going to go in, and then Smitty, if you could drive the rest of the stream, that'd be great, because I just got to run for a second.
I got you, bro. Just let me know. I got it.
Boom.
All right. The only thing I would have to say to the video that 84 played was Smitty does have a point when it comes to men being emotional in public, but I do believe that every man deserves a safe haven or a safe space where he can be vulnerable, where he can be himself and let his emotions out in a healthy manner. Whether that's with his partner, whether that's with one of his friends or a brother, he needs a safe space. because over time those emotions build up and it creates an unhealthy hardness that is not really beneficial to society. Like that's how people black out, go wild, tweak out, turn to different vices like drinking or drugs. Like you need an outlet. So whether it's with your partner or someone close to you, you need someone to be vulnerable with. And if you need to shed a tear, you need to let it out. Because sometimes things hurt, and holding those things in festers unhealthy emotional attachments to those things in the past. And if you're not able to let those things out and let those things go, then you're holding on to dead weight. And the more dead weight you hold, the more your temper flares, the more you're not able to see things from other people's perspectives, because you're holding so much dead weight of emotion that you weren't able to share with someone in a safe space. And oftentimes men encounter people that they may feel like is a safe person to share things with, and they throw it back in their face. So that further promotes the attitude of, well, I'm not going to cry about it. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just going to hold it in. But one day you may break and you need someone to put those pieces back together. But if they don't know anything about your story, how will they build you back up? And you can build yourself back up, but at the same time, you need a safe space. And that's all. My mic is muted.
Okay, and briefly to that, and then we're gonna get to Brother Watts. Excuse me.
Bless you.
No, that's just some good weed. Listen, the thing is, what you're saying as far as the safe haven, I'm sitting here, I'm nodding, I'm saying absolutely. Yes. My main thing, so people don't think I'm just this effed up ass person, right? I'm just very strict on shit and very militant about certain things because I know it keeps things going. I know it preserves this. That's part of the preservation, right? Is that men should be allowed to have a safe space. That safe space is not right now on this motherfucking panel. Nigga, listen, I'm going to repeat the steps again. Push X, then grab tissue. X, then tissue. Don't grab the tissue, blow your nose, okay? And then try to hit X, nigga. It's too late. It's there forever, okay? X, then tissue. Go find somewhere, take care of that shit, and then come on back on the panel, nigga. Get that shit off your chest. We're going to give you the floor. You see what I'm saying? But when it comes to a man expressing themselves, like certain places, no. A queen never goes in front of the people without her crown on. Neither does the king. They may do, look, back in the chambers, oh yeah, I mean, shit, walk around, just some tights on and shit. They got a turkey leg in their hand and shit, just all kind of taco meat and titties, all kind of shit out. But when they go in front of the people, they make sure they have a certain presentation with themselves. Why? So that they're never taken that seriously. And when it comes to men, we have to operate in that same mode. You crying, that's like taking your crown off in front of the people. Never do that. Never take your crown off in front of the people, because you let them know that you're dethroning yourself. But I digress.
Okay.
My mic is muted. Rock out.
Well, a question for all of you gentlemen.
Hold on, let me say this real quick. Mm-hmm. Look, y'all can cry on the stream whatever you want, okay? Whatever you want. I don't care who you are, you can always cry on the stream. Hell, I cried on the stream before. Why? Because I can. Okay. I hate to push the de facto leader button, but right now I have to. You know what I'm saying? Look, all right. You know what I mean? If you want to cry on this stream, which I am the de facto leader of, you can. That's the de facto leader. I hate that leader. But as a de facto leader, yes, you can cry on the stream whenever the hell you want. I'm so sick of fucking Instagram only. I'm sorry, my bad. I'm so sick of Instagram only giving me an hour to stream. Why y'all always do this, Instagram? Why you only give me an hour? Whatever, man. But Instagram be hating. But yeah, man, outside of that, yeah, y'all can come on and cry. But go ahead. Go with your question, Ruby doll. My bad.
No worries. I was just gonna say, would you guys dissuade a woman from having this mentality if you feel like it goes against nature so much?
Listen, I'm gonna be real with you. With you speaking on nature, that's exactly how I look at the weakness of a man outwardly in public, not outwardly in solitude. Listen, just like even the example with I think it's the bald eagle, even a lot of big cats. The males, when they get to a certain age, like for example, the bald eagle, it goes off. And it goes off somewhere far away. It just gets away from everybody. Its feathers are so matted, it goes through a bunch of shit. It goes through a whole bunch of stuff. This is some real, real stuff that happens. And what they do is they pluck their feathers, they get themselves together. Now, this whole process is also painful for them, plucking their own feathers, right? It's like tweezers, plucking hairs. It's painful. It's like So they go through all of this, and then finally, when they get themselves together, they come out of wherever the fuck they were, and then they go back. Then they go back to the area in which it is that they were born, where they nest and everything, their hunting grounds and what they're familiar with. They go back round the way, if you want to say, after they get that stuff done. Same thing with a lot of big cats. The males, they go off. A lot of same thing with primates. Same thing with elephants. The males, the bulls, they go off. They go off, they get their shit together, and they come back. This is symbolic, because during that moment that they're shedding, if you want to say, they're not just shedding feather and fur and skin and everything else. They're also shedding a certain amount of pain and weakness and everything else. So when they come back, they're already good to go. That endurance is built. You see, they don't be out in the open during that vulnerable moment, because we all know what can happen. Literally, you can be attacked and killed or deleted. Excuse me. So we got to remember that it's a reason for us as men. And I'm going to land it here. I do truly believe that us as men, the ones who truly get it, when we step into that realm of what we call manhood, that realm of true masculinity, right? We know rule number one, it's going to be a lot of hurt and pain that comes with this. Rule number two, don't cry and bitch about it. Rule number three, don't think anybody cares. We just know these things. So all I'm saying is, yeah, you can cry. Go ahead. Anybody want to pull up and cry here right now? You go right on. Mr. Best said you can do it. That man did not promise you what the results and the outcome is going to be behind your monkey ass doing that shit. He cannot promise you what is going to be the response behind that. If you get trolled like a motherfucker, just understand the only thing that this man promised you was a space to do it. Now you make your decision from there, but I digress. My mic is muted. Rock out. Watts, go ahead, get up in there.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. People know not to use my material, man, because I will go after you. Okay, so people know that already. So I don't gotta say nothing about that. Now listen. Before Watts go, I'm gonna just click this real quick, because I do want my brother Watts to go. He's been patiently waiting, but I'm gonna click this real quick. Listen, in the video, the man never said that he wouldn't go out, in the battle and do his thing. In fact, he even talks about being in the battle and needing a safe space to come out and actually speak and be vulnerable and shed tears and things of that nature. So him working hard, him doing all that, him being a man, or him being an adult rather, right? That never was, played. In fact, he, saying that it was him acknowledging that that's what he was doing. So
why would you invite men to come right here to cry? Why would you invite them to come here?
Let me finish. Because I can. Now,
you missing the whole point. Ain't nobody talking about some who got weight. We all know that. So
now, hold on.
Outside of that, my nigga.
Hold on.
You know what I'm saying to you as a man, dog. So fuck all the weight pulling.
Let me finish. Right? Now, you know what I'm saying? So he never denied that he was a hard worker, or that, he wasn't doing what he had to do in life. In fact, like I said in the video, he somewhat indirectly acknowledges that, right? Now, you know what I'm saying? I think as far as rites of passage, the thing that you speak of, Smitty, I think women have a rite of passage too. They have to go from being a girl to a woman, right? Whether what in whatever ways it comes, whether it comes through them having a period, whether it comes through childbirth, whatever. Females have a rite of passage, just like males have a rite of passage.
Nothing
Right?
in their rite of passage has
Hold on,
anything to do with the
hold
denial of
on, hold on,
emotion, the
hold
denial
on,
of crying, none of
hold
that.
on, hold on. It's easy for you to say you ain't never have a child before. You never gave birth. So you cannot speak on what a woman really goes through. Now that woman in the left corner right here, she can speak to that.
So there's been a woman pushing that baby out crying, and somebody smacked her and said, "Shut the fuck up, all that crying while you pushing that baby."
Hold on. She can speak to being a woman and holding it down and being a mother and having to, control her emotions at times and having to be, stabilize the home and all that. She can speak to that. And I'll let Ruby Doll, cook on that in a minute after Watch go. But I think both have a right to passion now to becoming an adult, right? But one thing White School Podcast said, which does make sense, animals do not have a soul, which they don't, and we do, right? So animals don't have a soul. They don't have the consciousness, or they don't have the
bruh, that is something that is very much so subjective, bruh. That is highly from just a biblical standpoint, dog. Scientists can disprove that and debunk that in a second. That is not true.
Right? Let me finish, right? They do not have the intelligence, or rather, the cognitive.
That is not true.
They are not as intelligent as we are. No, they're not. Right now, nor do they have the rationale that we have. Now, with that being said, right, I think that vulnerability, right, whether you're a man or a woman, has to be done in a safe space, right? I'm not saying that any man or woman should just be vulnerable at any time with anybody, any place. Yes, sir, I'll be there. Okay. No, I mean, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that, right, you should be vulnerable, right? People should be vulnerable. But I don't care if you're a man or a woman. It needs to be in a space where you actually can trust people, and you know those people are not going to use what you're saying or what you're doing, you know what I mean, against you. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a woman and you trying to be vulnerable, you ain't in a safe space, it's not a good idea. If you're a man and you're trying to be vulnerable and in a safe space, it ain't a good idea. Right? So, a safe space is not gender specific. You know what I mean? Vulnerability, like I said, and I'll say this again, vulnerability is a gift. Okay? You cannot give it to anybody. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what gender you are. All right? You have to find a space that works for you. You know what I'm saying? Now, I mean, after I share this, I got to break out. All right?
All right, hold on. So real quick. I'm going to make this real quick. So when you speak about vulnerability, do you believe that, okay, so this is a technical and real fact. A soldier out there on the field without his walkie-talkie, first aid kit, fellow soldiers, of course his arms, right? He needs his arms as far as like his guns, knives, all of that. Do you believe that without these things, that soldier is vulnerable?
Yes, he is.
Okay, hold on. Wait. So do you believe that soldier, any soldier, should be put out onto the battlefield in that type of condition? Like you just put one of our own out there, no gun, no radio.
Let me say this. When you at war,
hold on. So I'm just last part, and you can just rock out, and then you can do what you got to do. So with me saying that, the way that I look at a man being vulnerable out in the open is equivalent to that soldier out there on the field, and he's not armed. We all know what can happen if you're out there on the field and you're not armed. I don't know why for 1 second we will ever tell men, for 1 second, you can put your guard down out there on that field and you can be unarmed. Now, if you're back at the base in the chow hall, whatever it is, that's a little different, nigga. If you're back there in the bunk on your bed or something, that's a little different. But when we get out there, when we out there on a mission, what?
Listen, I'm gonna say this, right? Let me say this, and after this, I'm landing, right? Like I said, vulnerability is a gift, whether you're a man or a woman, right? So I wouldn't tell a woman to just be vulnerable anywhere. I wouldn't tell her to do that. I would tell her to find a safe space where you can trust people that she can be vulnerable with. You know what I mean? Because they can use that information against her, right? And plus, if you're speaking of war, people who are at war, they play by different rules. Watch can speak to that. You know what I mean? Being at war and being a civilian is two different things. Completely two different things. They do not play by the same rules, nor do the same rules apply for both. Now, with that being said, you know what I mean? Like I said, a safe space, right? Because I really didn't want the video to be gender specific. I really didn't want it. I was trying to make it just be people being vulnerable, period. Right? Because like that's what I feel. I really feel like vulnerability is not for everybody. Right? Your vulnerability is not for everybody. Right?
Yeah,
So
and it's called
hold
men.
on.
That's who it's not
Hold on.
for.
If Nishi want to be vulnerable, right? I'm just using that as an example. If the three of us are not trustworthy, she shouldn't be vulnerable with us. If Ruby Doll knows that the three of us are not trustworthy, she should not be vulnerable. Same thing for you, same thing for Watch, same thing for me. If we're not creating a safe space for each other as adults, right? Then it's not a safe space, right? So that's the thing. I think the messaging sometimes can be, well, if you're a man, you can't be vulnerable anywhere, but women can be vulnerable anywhere. No, they cannot. Women cannot be vulnerable anywhere. All right, they cannot. So if you think that a woman can be vulnerable anywhere, then you are tripping, bro, because they cannot. You know what I mean? They definitely can't. And the women up here can speak to whatever that. And thank you, Just Star. I appreciate that. You know what I mean? But yeah, and women are more catty and they do more gossip than men do. So they damn sure can't be more vulnerable anywhere else. But with that, man, I'm gonna step away, y'all. You know what I'm saying? If y'all need me, hit me up, DM me. But yeah, you know what I mean? I'm out, y'all.
Thank you, Mr. Best. Thank you for everybody. Mr. Watts, do you want to go ahead and say something?
I mean, they pretty much said a lot of what I was thinking, but in terms of my agreement with Smitty, that wonderful Jordan crying meme that we all done seen passed around the internet, if I'm not mistaken, he was crying during his Hall of Fame speech. That's to be a basketball player, that's a very proud moment. Like to finally be in the Hall of Fame and to be in a place where you're standing in front of the world and accepting the fact that they grace you to be good enough to be in the Hall of Fame. And this is Michael Jeffrey motherfucking Jordan. You know what I'm saying? This Jesus and sneakers. And even at his height of accepting something for what we all know him for, even at that moment of crying, that shit was sent all over the world, plastered everywhere, used as a joke, and still is used as a joke to this day. I think that I think vulnerability is overrated. Being vulnerable is overrated, in my honest opinion. I understand that as humans, like we have these emotions and we go from one side to the other, you know, happy and sad, up and down, like we go from these sides, but like in the grand scheme of life, like at the end of it all, like when you finally get to that end line and you start talking about what it is that you accomplished and what you left behind and all that other kind of stuff, I'm almost positive that those times that you slept in the back seat of your car or those times that your girlfriend yelled at you, like those aren't going to be the moments that you remember. They shouldn't be. The moments where you made something happen for yourself, the moment where you produced something that changed another person's life, the moment you did, you know, completed an act that would benefit someone that's a part of your team. Like those are the moments that you're going to remember. Not that sappy cry, all that shit. Get that shit out of here because it's not gonna matter. And even if it does matter, it's not gonna be. That's not the stuff that pulls you out of the mud. Like sitting in the room crying, that's not the shit that gets you out of the mud. Like you probably need it. So you might need it, like to take a moment and cry. Like I'm sure you might need it, but the crying is not what got you out the mud. It's the getting up and putting in the action. It's the getting to work. It's the actions behind trying to change what you have around you that causes the difference. Not the crying and being vulnerable and looking for a safe space and all of that. Like that shit overrated in my personal opinion. But I know that sometimes my opinion may be a little insensitive.
Okay, so Watts, you were saying, well, such and such, who'd you name? Cried at a Hall of Fame thing, right? Right.
The Michael Jordan crying meme. That was when he
Okay.
was doing his whole
Well,
thing.
Watts. Nobody looks at a man weak or something's wrong at him because he cried at a funeral. See, when that took place, those were tears of a funeral. That was the death of the old him, but it was also a birth. It was the birth of the new him. That's something extremely, completely different when you actually get to something and a point in which a man such as himself is reached. If you get to a quarter of that, and this is something truly that you have bust your ass and worked like your life's work, that is something that is completely different. What I am speaking about when I say dudes crying out in the open, I'm talking about typical life struggle shit. Can't land a woman, can't land a man. Well, whatever. Kids acting up, bills, such and such don't like you, such and such cheated on you. All of these things, okay? Oh, y'all, my family talking about me and you going out, because when I say crying, I don't just mean tears specifically. I mean, you could have not one tear coming down your face, but you're bitching and complaining about it and you're recording it. Nigga, that's crying. That's crying to me. To most of us as men, on a certain level and caliber, that's some whole shit. That's crying. Why are you doing that, my G? What's wrong with you? Call one of us. Hit the phone, bro. Let's go ahead, hit the bar, whatever. Let's go ahead out back to the spot, whatever it is, and let's go ahead and get that shit off our chest. But you don't go take that shit out there to the goddamn world. That's not what we do. And see, dudes that do that, like you putting a bad rep on, the ones who really, and I'm gonna be honest, like not even, and it ain't got nothing to do with trying to sound on top. I promise you. I say it all the time. Take you a couple pillows, go to the middle of the woods. All right, have a nail gun, hit them bitches up on the tree, and just put your face in it and go at it. Have at it. I'm talking about scream. It should be birds flying out the nests and shit. It should be all of that going on when you do that. No problem. But other than that, honestly, when it comes to just outwardly doing such a thing, no, you should not be doing that. You should not be doing anything like that as a man in public. Period.
So now I'm asking you a question. What is the difference between getting in front of a camera and crying and complaining, and getting in front of a camera and using some of your shit as what we use it for here, being on a panel, using it as content to create, to maybe motivate someone to yada yada, all of that good stuff? What would you say is the difference between the two?
Oh, real simple. Okay, so I'll give you the example of me with my accident. When I was in the hospital, I have some pictures. When I got out of the hospital, about 3 weeks later, right? I have pictures. I have footage. I have all of these things, right? I didn't show anybody, and I didn't even tell nobody. The only people that knew were those closest to me, close friends and family. Nobody knew I was even in an accident. What I did was, before I got out there and I told my story, I got myself back to the point where I can walk again. I got myself back to the point where I'm now like up and mobile. I made sure that the scars healed on my face. My face looked like somebody smeared strawberries on them. I was, it was bad, right? So when you talking about what's the difference between the whining and complaining comes from if you're talking about it in the midst of it, what you do is you quietly take care of that shit. You handle it. You nip it in the bud. You do what you got to do to rectify things. And then from there, you go ahead and if you want to talk about it, you can talk about it. There's nothing wrong with talking about, if you went through hard prison times. Nothing wrong with talking about when you was going through being homeless or if you had a drug addiction. Don't talk about that shit while you still actively on the drug and or still on papers. In the sense of, you know, what you're talking about, Watts. So I'm saying that to say a person that continuously like puts shit out there with no real resolve talk behind it. If there's no resolution spoken about, if you're getting online to talk about what's getting ready to be done, maybe you're taking notes for legal reasons, totally understandable. But if you're just getting online just to ask people what do they think, hey y'all, so let me ask you this. So if you went and you all of that bullshit, nah, nigga, you crying, you bitching, you whining, you complaining. And it looks like some hoe shit. You look real weak.
I
1
think too,
second.
sometimes
Hold on, y'all.
people,
Go. No. Go ahead. My bad.
I think too, sometimes people just be wanting to vent instead of just hitting up somebody that they're close to. They want to do it for sympathy.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you see those videos on TikTok, like somebody just broke up with them or they got into like a situation that's negative. I think it's all a ploy for sympathy sometimes. You know, to get cash into their GoFundMe or whatever. So sometimes people do let their emotions hang out in the open into the world, but they're trying to get something from it, whether it's attention, sympathy, or money. They're trying to use those emotions to draw other people's emotional strings so they can feel closer to someone or so that they can make new friends. And basically they're trying to trauma bond off of the pain. And sometimes that can be a negative thing and sometimes it can be a positive thing depending on if you're moving on from it and healing from it. But oftentimes we see it's just for attention or just for monetary gain with GoFundMe accounts. And most of the time, if it's not for attention or money, it's definitely for sympathy sometimes because people feel like no one has their back. And when you feel like no one has your back, you know, you'll start to say whatever is on your heart and trying to get it off your chest just so you can have an army behind you of, well, I was there when, you know, you went through this and I remember how far you've come and I'm always on your side. I got your back. People really be wanting a team. And sometimes you build those teams off of being emotional and vulnerable. That's all.
Okay. Brother Jay Takashi in the building. Salute to you, sir. What do you
Hello,
want to
Mr.
go ahead
J.
and add on that? What you got for us? You froze up. Oh, no. Never mind. There you go. You in there.
There you go. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes. I'm clear.
Cool. My mic. Yeah, there's a little freaking thing underneath it. If you touch it, that shit.
Your
cuts
mic
off
sounds
the
nice.
audio
1,
feed.
2.
Appreciate it. Appreciate y'all. But konbanwa, everybody. Good afternoon. I agree with I forget her name. Yeah, Venice. What Venice said. I've said this. Oh, just got off a stream where I talked about this. I legitimately just said anybody who feels the need to freaking social media their fucking relationship and air that shit out, tell everybody know your fucking business, pisses me off. To me, you're a child. I want attention. Woe is me. And I'll get on dudes if they do that too, but normally if you're dominant females, they need to feel the need to like just do that shit, and I'm not a fan of that shit at all. Like, for example, my parents to this day do not do that dumb shit. This new generation does, because the new generation is so quick for sympathy, and I'll say this sympathy is full of bitches. This whole generation is full of bitches to me. They're super sensitive, and they want attention, and they want somebody to hold their hand and give them a hug. When you're a full blown adult, and you should act like one, and move like one. So to me, the whole rhetoric that I get with this is just that you just want attention. the dudes are not all dudes are going around here doing that. Like literally, maybe like a super sensitive motherfucker who's whining and bitching and complaining. But like a real dude, like a real man in this case, does not freaking air like his story, his relationship, public knowledge. He keeps it between the person that he made a covenant with, and that's how it should go. And the woman should do vice versa. That should already be agreed upon. Like anything that we talk about is between us two. Simple enough. Our relationship is not for the world to freaking. It's to be discussed by the world. It's to be discussed by us. Simple enough. But listen, we're in an age where people are sensitive now, so and they just feel the need to like get something back in return. Like, oh, it'll make me feel better. I'm like, no. You need to own up to that shit. About your part you took in the relationship of why it flopped, and deal with it in solitude, or with the I'm just sorry, guys. Clinical psychiatrist or therapist. You need one of those because that's the best way of handling that. But people don't want to be responsible. They want to be children. So that's really my thoughts process to what Venice was saying because Venice hit it on the head.
Okay, I like that. Okay, so I want to ask this. Hopefully, Brother Watts can come back up.
Yeah, please, Watts, come back. Or don't dip when I just got here.
Y'all good? No, we gonna take this out. We got it. I want to ask the ladies this. So, Sister Venice, we're gonna start with you. Then we're gonna go. No. Matter of fact, Ruby, are you there? Okay. Sister Venice, we're gonna start with you. We're gonna get to Ruby when she come back. And I got a question for you as well, Jay. And of course, the chat. I'd love to hear from you all as well. So I would like to know, do you believe that ladies really do respect and find sexually attractive? Okay, there you go. So since we have our lovely host back, we're gonna go with Ruby and then you, Sister Denise. All right. So ladies first, and then I got one for the fellas. All right. Do you think that ladies want a man that is just as emotionally responsive as they are? So I want you to think about you and your feminine girly girl aspect. Let's just say the good old fashioned a mouse is in the house. How we know the ladies will respond, they up on the couch, they holding their dress and everything else. Do you find sexually attractive and do you respect the man that would be right up on that couch with you?
So there's a lot to take from that question. But
take as much as you want from it.
Yeah, and so on a personal note, I happen to be a woman that's in touch with her masculine side only because my circumstances kind of allow for that in that survival of the fittest mentality, right? And I don't shy away from that. But if I were to have a partner, like let's say I wanted to have a man in my life and build with him, I would hope that he would be vulnerable, but I would hope that he'd be solution based. And so a lot of what Mr. Smitty and Mr. J shared, as well as Miss Venice, is mental strength. These are qualities of people that are mentally strong. And so not everybody is all the time, right? And so I think as long as we can hold space for each other to be that, I don't have a problem with it. But on the real, I understand where he's coming from, because if I'm crying about a subject, I don't need the person. I'm sorry.
Ruby. So we're gonna do it just like this, Ruby.
What's that?
You're on a date with a dude.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't care who, your place, his place, whatever. It ain't saying nobody's dirty, but let's just say we see the mouse in the house. Y'all are on the couch. The mouse runs across the floor along where the TV is in front of y'all. You hop up onto the couch. Your date Hops up, screen pitch just as high as yours, and he is holding on to you just as tight as you're holding on to him. Yes or no, Ruby?
No.
Do you start dripping? Does she get gushy or does she dry up? Do we see
That's the
tumbleweeds?
Sahara. That's the Sahara Desert at that
Thank
point.
you. Thank you. I mean, shit. Sister Venice, same question. What you got, sis? Do you think that women are generally more attracted to the man that responds just as emotionally as they do in certain circumstances? Yes or no?
In the moment, you're not thinking about sex, Smitty, at all. You're trying to fight for your life. So if he jump on the thing with me,
It's a mouse. Okay, go ahead with the fight for your life.
yeah, we both fight for our life. Like, listen, if the rat is huge and nasty and disgusting, I would not be like, oh my God, this man is a bitch. Like, I wouldn't do that. I would think, like, dang, he's scared too. So I would be like, what
I'd
we gonna
still
do?
kill the rat though. The rat still has to die. Someone gotta do it.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna force him. I'm not gonna judge his manhood based on insects or rodents or anything of that nature, because he may be afraid. It might be his first time seeing a rat. So I'm not gonna judge his manhood, but I am going to expect that we come up with a solution if he doesn't, try to jump down and try to do something. Like, we're gonna have to discuss a solution while we both standing on this couch, because I'm not getting down until he gets down to do something. So if he doesn't do something, then I'm just gonna, chalk it up as like, dang, I got me a softie.
Why is there so much cap up here today? Like, why is there so much cap? And then salute to M3. I see you in the building, Brody. I see you in the building.
M3?
I'm glad you're here because you can help with the question for the fellas.
Yes,
So
Smitty,
this
that's
part,
not cap. I said I'll be like, dang, I got a softie.
nah, you say I wouldn't judge his manhood, girl. Stop it. You know damn well the moment you feel that man's embrace and grip on you, so tight on that couch, legs wrapped around your body, okay? His legs are around your torso like y'all square dancing and you getting ready to dip his ass, okay? You know damn well it's gonna be, it's gonna be tumbleweeds and dust all through the air at that point when it comes to down there. Now, we're gonna address this shit right here. Let me just say this to you, sister. Okay, all right, just start. Why assume the woman gonna be screaming too? Let me just tell you something. I don't want to date a woman that don't scream when a random rodent runs by. You better be in that much of a feminine position. You better what? What are you going to do? Grab it by what? Grab it with your bare hands and shit? Let it run up your arm and everything? Start doing the breakdown? What are you getting ready to do with this mouse? That's all I want to know.
I don't know. If she's from New York,
What else should you be doing besides screaming? And allowing me, okay, you rest in your femininity, okay? What you do, you scream and you just fall back. Then what do? I go find me some rolled up paper or a broomstick or the nearest slipper. You know how this goes, okay? And or broom and dustpan. That's how we do this. If you think for a second that men who want a woman of a certain laid-back feminine aspect wants to be around a woman that's like, shit, I ain't screaming when no rat run by me. What do you do for a living? Where do you be? That's all I want to know. But with that being said, we're going to leave that alone. So, ladies, give y'all final touches on that. Both of y'all, floor's open as far as respecting a man that's just as emotionally responsive as you on most occasions, no matter what it is.
Okay, I just wanted to share something. I've definitely been in a relationship with a man who was more emotional presenting than I was at the moment. Now, we didn't work out for multiple reasons, but one thing I just never experienced that before. I mean, I would hold him when he would have emotional breakdowns, and I didn't, although it wasn't like turning me on, I think that's when just compassion had to come out because it wasn't ideal. I will admit that it wasn't ideal, but because there was a lot of mental health there, I think that's when more of the compassion had to come out. So it didn't necessarily make me more masculine or more hardened, but more loving towards that. And I don't know, there could have been some enabling too.
But I'm assuming that you couldn't really feel the way how you probably would initially felt from him when you first met, because he pretty much described like those type of demonstrated those feminine capabilities, because that's how I'm going to just call it. It's like it makes it hard for like a woman to really try to connect to that, because unfortunately, and I'm not actually no. Why the fuck I gotta explain everything? He didn't tap into his masculinity, so of course, like I'm going to assume that your pussy was really dried up because like you had to spend most of the time being sympathetic, and you probably put you into mother mode, like trying to, care for his needs. Of course, okay, I be it. You was being loving towards him. I'm not going to knock that down. But in my opinion, men like that does that constantly, I mean, you can't really expect from a woman to like really see him as like a protector, as a man that's going to really hold you down when you're mostly doing the role for him.
And then we also have to think of it this way, right? My perspective and my lens comes from that where women were warriors and we fought alongside men too. So I don't really have like there's different things about me where it's like, you know how Smitty said he wouldn't want a woman that would kill the rat. Well, I'd scream, but I'd still kill that rat or whatever. Maybe he said he didn't want a woman that didn't scream anyways. But I'm just saying, like, there's things that are very warrior-like within me as well. That I can
You
identify.
shouldn't just still be sitting there like that was a fly in the windowsill.
Oh no, definitely not. It's a big deal if they're
Like I should see a facial expression at something. You should respond. The woman that doesn't respond to the rat, something's not right. Something's not right.
Got you.
I don't think I want no parts of that.
I was off center for that, my bad.
But yeah. Go ahead, get your pieces out, and I got a question for the fellas. But take your time.
No, go ahead, Queen. Feel free.
What you got,
I was
Sister
just
Denise?
gonna
What you
say,
got?
in the respect of Smitty and his opinion, it definitely wouldn't, get anyone going like, hey, you a little soft. I'm not really feeling you like that, how I used to. But it's just a era of like the type of guys that I normally go for. They're very spoiled, or like, I guess they've always been taken care of in a certain way. Just
Mama
like
boys.
Huh?
Mama's boys.
Yeah, like I always run into like a mama's boy. I got the mama's boy card. I don't know, last 2 times. Anyway, but with that being said, like they just call someone. It's not like they're really the type to go fix it themselves. Like they can't change oil. They'll take the car to, get serviced or something like that. So it's not that I just go for the lumberjack. Oh, I'm just gonna go get a broomstick guy. Never had that experience. So I get what Ruby is saying. Like you always play like the mother card, or you fall into that category because it's like most guys try to get a girl that's like their mom. So the cycle just continues, and that's a frequent thing. Like it's just a thing that happens.
Smitty, do you think that's true that most like of us will try to like look for like our mama replacements?
Subconsciously to some degree, maybe.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you right now. That does have a lot of validity. Now, as far as like looking for my mama, nah, I don't want to live with my mother. She's alive and healthy. I don't want to live with that one. No. But the qualities that what she has, like that consistency as far as when she goes to work and come home, that the food cooking. I'm not gonna lie. Yes, I'm gonna say it. I don't care how barbaric this sounds. My mama can like wrap gifts during the holidays and fucking fold sheets and towels and do bed sheets like nobody's business. I mean, it's that Hotel Crisp shit. I mean, I love that shit. So, like a woman that can bring her feminine touch as far as just knowing how to decorate around the house, where the plants should be. We should hang a picture here. That feminine touch, that shit is absolutely amazing and very much so sexy and still attractive. I can promise you that much, ladies. But yeah, I mean that to that degree, yes. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Especially, let's be for real, M3, when we sick. It is nothing like a woman that can give you a mother's type touch when you got a full-blown fever, bro. They bringing you that soup. They got the bucket by you. You all nasty and snotty. They don't care. They just right there helping you. I mean, to a degree, if they don't, it's almost like they don't even care if they get sick themselves. They just right there. Like that shit is absolutely, that's priceless, bruh. It's priceless. But I digress. My mic is muted. Rock out.
I mean, that part, it is like a beautiful thing. And then that to me is what I see, what I value and label as true like femininity, you know, where it's like natural, nothing's forced. It's like you're tapping into like your love in nature, which is comparable to like a mother's love for her kids, not for other men, but for her kids. So when you kind of, you know, embrace that, I can see where you're coming from.
Okay. So I want to ask the fellas this question. All right, this is for the fellas. Fellas, have you? All right, now I'm talking about relationship wise. Okay, like just think relationship wise, and or dating wise, relationship and or dating. Have you ever seen and known that? Have you ever seen being emotionally expressive around the clock, around your woman, has been successful? Is that beneficial? Have you noticed that the more you cry around her, the more she just like, babe, I swear I'm gonna take this down and I'm just gonna drop this thing like it's hot on you? Like, do you notice that the more that you're emotionally vulnerable around this woman, the more she looks at you and clings to you for security, leadership, and protection?
Hell to the fucking no. Oops,
M3, then UJ. Nah, rock out, my G. Okay. Say that shit.
I did vow myself right to like try to minimize like my frugality. You know what I mean? But hey, it is what it is. Now, unless if it's like, okay, something that's tragic, where you really just catch me off guard in my vulnerable state, those are kind of like the experiences where it's like, okay, I mean, you just get that type of sympathy. You know what I mean? They may give you that little hug, but you could tell like the whole energy makes them uncomfortable. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, like if I were ever in a state where I feel like I need to release tears or some type of emotion, I'm not going to do it around with any other woman. And I'm not going to do it with any other man. I'd rather either take it to God or go somewhere else by myself and deal with it. Because I know for sure that me displaying anything that is considered to be feminine, I don't care if it's like a coworker, I don't care if it's like, you know, spouse, whatever, relative. I never want to make nobody feel uncomfortable because at that moment, I can't really control my emotions. And unfortunately, it's just the way it is. That's the reality of it. It's like here's a thing. It's like an unspoken rule or law for a man that's like, hey, the only emotions that you can really display is basically the way how you're releasing your anger and acting a fool, and that's it. Those are only times that it may be acceptable, and for like the wrong type of women that they will probably fall for. But other than that, I mean, you better not weep too much
And if you do, you better be careful who you're weeping around with.
All right. Jay, it's on you, Jay. And then I got a question for the entire panel of something I believe that we never talk about. It's very important. Salute, OG Do Dirty. Y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to my man OG Do Dirty. This man has awesome content. And if you want to look, if you want to learn a little bit about, the horticultural side and a little bit about wildlife and fishing, you can holler at, my man OG. He'll tell you a little something. Cool dude. All right, so let's go ahead and rock out. Hold on real quick. We got Dragonfly Jones. Okay, now. Cousin in the building. Okay, now. Silence.
Yeah.
In the building.
4 freaking
Okay, now.
words.
Right. So salute. Thank you so much for tuning in. But Jay, you got the floor, Brody. Go ahead and rock out.
It'd be quick. So hell fucking no. Realistically, I've always told that, whatever problems you're going, you keep shit to yourself and you discuss it among your brothers, your brotherhood of boys, basically. In this case, brotherhood of men if you're an adult. Same thing, same concept applies. I've never done it. I haven't had any issues when I didn't show it. And besides, the only time, like what M3 said, like literally, she knows, like I said, we're together. She's my wife, and she knows that my father passed away. Of course, if she catches me on one of those vulnerable days where it's like, yeah, because we mourn different when our fathers go or our moms. Everybody knows that. And right in front of the funeral, it'd be like when we leave, and then there's a day where I'm on the back porch and you catch me, sweetheart. So that's different. I'll shed a tear or two or something like that. But yeah, but that's the only that's the only exceptional time. But you crying every day like a 5-year-old, no, that will turn them off instantly. I just don't. I don't know why, and I don't know if I'm a sadist or anything like that, but I think it's beautiful when my girl cries personally, because I personally like the stereotype of her clinging on to me while she's crying, while she's crying, trying to be emotional at the time, because it's a beautiful thing personally for me, because she's relying on her man to really, to be her rock, which I'm her rock, and I'm her rock and her support piece, of course. And like I said, I'd prefer it's supposed to be that way than the other way around. But also, I never really had that issue. I just think, like I said, again, you have to grind your emotions and just vent to your guys personally. Trust me, it's a shitty thing. It's got to be done. Otherwise, you're gonna explode. And just like I want to tell ladies, like I said, your vessel is melting. You're gonna explode if you don't fucking talk to him. Because trust me, because you know how you get in your emotions, it's gonna blow up in your face. You didn't say anything, or because you've been holding it in too long, to where it's like almost like self-sabotage. You're gonna self-sabotage yourself. So yeah. But that's really my answer for that. So
okay. M3, you got anything behind that or whatever? Because I got like 2-3 more questions for us. For the evening. Oh yeah, I'm pretty good at this. Yeah, we know how to work this on the spot.
Well, sure. I was gonna ask, just a quick question for the ladies that's up here. Like, how do you guys feel, or what do you guys think when you guys hear us, hear our responses when it comes to men's emotional vulnerability and how we feel about it? Do you feel sorry for us? Or do you feel like we're just BSing around, or what?
Well, one thing I'm a big believer in, for real, is I can't tell someone how to be something I'm not. So if you I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to try different methods as it's right for situations, but I'm not above the law. I think, and I like to hear different perspectives. Now, I'm not going to say that I agree with you guys all the time, 1000%. I think that's the beauty of these conversations. Mm-hmm. But again, if you're telling me what traits that a man has in the animal kingdom, and it coincides with the way nature is, then that I'm not going to refute that, you know. But what I will say in my experience is that because I'm just like I'm so pro, I would say, human or like, you know, soul. And because I do like both men and women, I tend to have a different perspective when it comes to roles and power exchange.
More like pro-liberal then, right?
I don't know if it's liberal because to me it seems more natural. So I don't know, you know.
I don't know. I mean,
I
I'm
understand
leaning more
exactly
to like
what you're saying, M3,
Yeah.
personally. It's not too hard to read between them lines, bro. But with that said, I want to ask you guys this question. We're going to start off with Ruby. Could somebody turn their TV down, I guess, whatever that might be?
Hold on, guys.
So,
It might be
no
me.
problem.
Sorry about that, y'all.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. So look, right, I want to know this.
The microphone,
Now,
if you keep that.
we talk a lot about like how long courting should be. All right. Some people say it should be some months, year, years. Some people are engaged for years, right? What I want to know, we're going to start with Ruby, which I don't know why. I just got a feeling her answers somehow or another going to consist of a couple unicorns and some sunflowers and shit. All right. So Ruby, and we're going to go around the room. I want to know, does love at first sight still exist? If it's ever existed, and if it does, is love at first sight something safe to go off in 2024? We're going to start with you, Ruby. M3, and we're going to work our way around.
I believe in love at first sight because I'm really energetic. First of all, I couldn't realize
Told
that.
y'all, here come the unicorns. Go ahead, Ruby.
Now, if we're talking though relationship as it pertains to society as we know it, I don't think love is enough. So I don't think that just one thing is gonna be enough. I think that there has to be a lot of things that coincide, and so yeah. So I hope that answers the question. It's not too unicorny.
You good. You good. M3, it's on you. Does love at first sight still exist, and has it ever existed? And if it does, how do you think that works in 2024?
Well, to me, love never existed on first sight. It's more of like lust and infatuation. And I think people, miss the concept of thinking like, oh, this person's beautiful, or I'm vibing that type of conversation. But again, if we're really talking about love at first sight, before the approach, before the conversation, that doesn't exist to me. So, but and what was the second question you had for me?
It basically is: does love at first sight still exist, or has it ever existed? And if you do believe that it does, how do you believe that'll work in 2024? And even if you don't believe, what's your view on it? Period.
Yeah. Well, like I said, because I don't really believe it, but this is what I think. I mean, especially like in 2024, or it could be 2025, or so on. I think when the love does kind of hit, it's basically when you're actually getting to know the deep insides of the person, you're actually having that type of conversation, having that type of time. It was the word that you said before. Damn, I can't even remember what it was. I'm so tired. But it's the courtship. So when you go through the courtship phase, that's when I feel like the love will start to develop, because now you're comfortable, you're getting to know this person, and you're not trying to rush to anything, right? That is only going to just benefit for yourself, but you're actually taking the time because you want to understand the other person and make both of you guys beneficial, you know? So that's my take into it.
It's on you, sir, Takashi. Rock out. Sister Venice, you next.
All right, I'll keep this under a minute. No, I don't. No, I don't believe in love at first sight. And has it ever existed? Not really. Basically, you're a sweetheart. You're like I said, that's your hormones in a bunch for you. You're reacting towards freaking testosterone. He's reacting to your pheromones. That's all it is. That's all the fuck it is. And to simplify it is lust. That's really what all it is. That's not love. That's lust. Love is something deeper that you get into after the quote unquote sex, things like that. That is like your selfishness that you both display towards one another. Like how you can't see each other. If you can't see yourself without that person the rest of your life, that is love, basically. But if you're just like, hey man, she hot, or he looks, or he's a fucking Chad, so smash. That's all that fuck that is. So, yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes I want to know what is love, but I digress on that one.
No, that's a good question. The definition of it needs to be expressed, and then maybe love or connection. Do you guys believe at connection at first sight? Like, because what about somebody that can't see? Are they incapable then of the connection at first, or the love?
I think blind people can still have love at first sight. That's right. That's right. That's right. When they first touch them with that stick,
I knew he was
they
going.
let that dog sniff them real quick. No, I'm serious. I'm serious. I think this can happen. All right. Let's let Sister Venice get up in here. Let's let her get up in here. What you got, sis? It's your time.
Okay, so for me, I'm on Ruby's side here. It's a 2-1 panel because love is definitely possible at first sight. And I know the fellas are saying it's all due to lust. But for me, I think it's more infatuation. Like when you just fixated on the person and you just feeling like obsessive, strong love for them. And it's not valid based on anything that you laid out a foundation on. It's just like you could see your future with them. It takes a little bit of delusion, but I definitely believe in love at first sight based on infatuation, because love does take time, like Jay said, but infatuation is instant. And that's where I'm gonna get my plane.
Okay, now. Go ahead.
Let me add a little bit. Right?
I appreciate that.
Now, I believe in love after the first sight. Maybe something's wrong with me. Maybe I'm getting a little bit too technical. I'm an overthinker, so it's like the way how my processing goes, I'm thinking probably too complex. You know, I'm more looking at things like literal. Like I'm looking at this person. I cannot say that, oh, I'm in love because my first interaction is looking how beautiful you are. To me, that's how I kind of equate that to lust and maybe some other problems. But like I said, I probably went too deep on that one. So,
and maybe I need to elaborate a little more on my experience and why I said that. Mm-hmm. I met somebody years ago. Upon first glance, we locked eyes, and I felt a flood of just love that had nothing to do with anything that could benefit me. I just wanted him to be safe. I just wanted him to be good, and I didn't even know who this guy was. He ended up becoming a friend, and because we're better off as friends. To be honest with you, we're not meant to be like that. I still love him though. And I felt that the first time I looked at him. So I do believe in that.
But what concludes to the point where it's you guys both made a decision, I guess, to remain as friends, but again, you see him at first sight and you're already in love with this person.
No, but that's the thing. I'm talking about love in the
Like the purest
not
form.
romantic. I'm not even
Okay,
talking
okay.
about romantic love. That's the
Like
thing.
agape love.
Agape love. I'm talking about
Okay,
that
okay.
that feeling of there's nothing for me to gain here. There's only that I want your best interest, and it doesn't have anything to do with me. In fact, he was in a whole nother relationship. I was too. But that had nothing to do with the fact that our connection was that strong that I felt an instant flood of love throughout my whole body when I looked at him.
Okay, now I fully understand because see, I was more fixated on the romantic side of the love as opposed like to the agape love where you could actually literally see somebody. It's like you seeing like a child and you're like, wow, I actually love this child. I want to protect this child. I want to be there for this child. Because there's something about that aura or maybe that type of energy that you picked up just by your sight. So you talking about the agape love, then I mean, okay, I could kind of understand that and why that end off into like a pretty much a potential friendship afterwards.
Friend.
But a lot of times, usually when they talk about like love at first sight, they usually reference the romantic side of love, and I could never get that. Like you gotta be like fine as fuck in order for me to like actually fall in love with you at first sight.
And then for a sapiosexual or a there's other ones, demisexual, that doesn't the looks doesn't have nothing to do with it. But you're still capable of feeling those connections.
Through like you talking about through like conversation, maybe a fit like
It
I
could
want to
be
say
a
like
feeling. It could be just a simple look. It could be it could be all that.
Does that tie in with what's that called? Does that tie in like with the
You
pheromone?
trying to join M3? You interested?
Wait, say again? Interested
You
in
trying
what?
to join? You interested? You trying to join and shit?
No, I'm just asking questions, Smitty. You know, I don't know what type
I'm
of joint
just,
you
I mean,
talking
you know, I was just gonna say, back chatting, but it's not. Go ahead, why not?
Oh, man, they're so in love. It would be like me trying to join them. No, I'm just kidding.
Who's them?
I'm talking about Mr. M3 and Mrs. M3. He's happily
I'm
married.
messing
Like
with y'all, man. I'm messing
you
with
know
y'all.
what it is.
Child, it
Smitty.
took a turn.
Of course, man. Hey,
Y'all
look.
funny.
So I want to ask us. I have two more questions for tonight that should be able to fill us in good before we go ahead and end it out. So I want to know this: does my image affect your image? So what I'm saying by that is the way that we dress. Does the way our youth, or does the way maybe I am three, Jay, Sister Venice, Ruby, does the way that any of us project ourselves, the way we conduct ourselves and act, the way we dress and everything else, does that affect the collective of us overall, or does that overall affect us and us alone?
I
So
would probably say it affects the group.
So we're gonna start with Sister Ruby. We're just gonna go around the board. So Ruby, M3J, and we're gonna go like that. Now, matter of fact, let's go in reverse. So we're gonna go with Sister Venice first. We're gonna go with J, M3, then Ruby. So Sister Venice, you got it first.
I mean, any image that you project into the world is a reflection of yourself. But when you're like on a panel or doing something as a group, and you have onlookers, everyone's gonna, equate the group by, the person that's speaking the most or the leader of the group, whoever that naturally is. So in the way that you carry yourself and the way that you speak to others and respect others, it does set a tone for everyone else, and people that may not know you or may not know anyone around you. They're going to take your words to heart or may hold it against you in the future. So you always have to be mindful of the image that you portray. But at the same time, you don't want to portray a false image. You want to portray yourself. So you got to think about, how do you want to be viewed as well as your colleagues? Do you want to be taken seriously? Do you want to be the jokester? All of those things come into account when you're in a group setting. So it's just all about how you personally feel as far as representation. Like, do you care what other people think? Is that important to you? Because some people
No. My sister, wait, real quick. What I'm saying, like, for example, would you say how maybe a Cardi B or a Sexy Red, a Suki Hana, would you say how they project themselves? Would you say that in any form of fashion that can have an effect on the rest of the sisters out here in society? Or does that only affect them? If you go out and you're dressing all provocative, does that only affect you? Or do you think that you're representing the collective of us?
I feel like it represents the collective of people that generate or gravitate towards those type of caricatures, basically. Because I don't think that's how they are in reality. I just think that's how they are when they're trying to get money and project a certain agenda or energy or stereotype. So me as a Black woman, I don't align myself with any of them in any type of vibration, but I do listen to their music. But it doesn't have an effect on me or make me want to act in those ways, because it's very low class. So it's like, and no matter how much money you get, it doesn't change, the actions being low class. Those are the facts. But I digress.
What's up, sir? Thank you for joining us.
My pleasure, my pleasure. We can't hear you. You muted.
Oh,
I
good.
think it's
Thank you
someone
for
else.
that. Yeah. All right. So hold on. So we're gonna go to M3. We're gonna go to Ruby, then Maverick. We'll get to you on the question. Did you hear the question, Maverick?
I heard it. That's
Okay.
why I was
Okay.
up
Just
there.
making sure. All right, Beth. So go ahead. M3. It's on you.
I'm just going to keep it short. Like, it pretty much like affects, like, and I feel like it's subjective, because there's going to be some people that's going to judge the whole entire group or the whole entire race of people based off of your poor representation as a woman or as a man. You know what I mean? And there's nothing you can really do about it. And then if you're with that person and they're acting in a certain type of way, even if you're not even that type, they're still going to judge you, the individual amongst with the groups. So it's a question that you can't really. So it's a question that you can't really give a full, proper answer to, because it's so subjectively, and it's based on who decides to view you as that type of statistic.
Hold on. Really? So when we go to like certain convenience stores in the hood, it's each individual person that they look at individually, or do you think that they look at all of us just them another group of niggas in here? Follow them.
So let me rephrase that, right? So if it's you and a couple of guys, right? Let's say you as the individual, you just pretty much like getting like maybe a pack of Newports, but you're not really even about that type of life. You come out of the store and maybe some other person is just driving by. Okay, they're gonna associate you amongst with the other groups that's out there. If they look like you, they're gonna judge you and everyone else. Just to be clear.
Now I just want to make sure. Ruby, it's on you. Does the way you, I, or whoever else dress, does the way you, I, or any one of us dress and or how we conduct ourselves, does that affect primarily just you, or would you say that that affects the collective?
Well, I think about two things. There's a lot of examples, but I think about Disneyland, and I think about going to church. Number one, Disneyland. You will never see anybody pick up trash out of, like, where there's janitorial services and people have to collect the trash. You don't see that at Disneyland. Okay, there's a reason for that. It's a magical place. So there's a certain reason. They actually have underground tunnels where they come and collect the trash. Another thing is, how many of us have been in a situation where you go to
Ruby, you're going to circle back, right? At some
why?
point. We're going to circle back, right?
Absolutely. However many
Okay.
times we have to. And the other example is at church. Like, you go to some place, you feel inclined to be there to worship with a group of people, and you see somebody like giving you the stink eye, like we say in the islands. You know what I mean? The dog in you, and you are like, all of a sudden you like, dang, God, like, what's up? And so I'm just saying, just to that point, yeah, it absolutely matters. And so every conversation that we have absolutely matters. Our breath is very important. And we ain't on these panels just because we like to hear ourselves talk, and we're not that narcissistic. I promise you that. It's like a labor of love, and it's because perceptions, especially if they're from the heart and from authentic places, they should be shared.
I don't know. We have a lot of people that come up there and they love to talk, over talk, and talk for like minutes.
This is human nature. Earthlings being earthlings.
I think it's a form of narcissism, but that's my opinion though. Sometimes
I don't understand. I have to ask this. And Ruby, you already know, love. Much respect to your answer. Just, where was what I asked? Does how we dress and conduct ourselves affect just us or the collective? And I heard about Walt Disney and the trash people and how they take the trash down these tunnels. And
yeah, they're not seen to the public eye. To your
Image.
point.
It's image.
There's Matt.
you got it. You got it. No. You got it. You got it.
No, Smitty. What she's trying to say
What I do?
is like,
Mhm.
okay, with the rape culture, like if a girl's dressed a certain way and people say, oh, she deserved it because she was dressed like that, or she was luring the man and making him want her to, well, not luring him and making him want to rape her, but she got what she was asking for by looking a certain way.
Great.
Was, attracting that energy from the collective by looking like a whore. I think that's what Ruby was trying to say. She just used different examples.
No, I don't think.
I got you, Ruby. I got you, Ruby.
I think grape culture is the go-to, for people who wanna. I mean, I don't know people, but I'm just saying that's a harsh way. That's a harsh way to go about it, right? And there's a good amount of space between grape and like decorum, right? It's like nobody is saying that anybody should be nobody is saying anybody should be great. But I work in a lab and we have PPE and they tell you like have your goggles on when you're working with like moving objects, right? And so you can be like, I ain't finna weigh these. You can't tell me they da. But when something poke you in your eye, you can't go, we got poke in the eye culture. Like we just simply told you to take certain precautions, and because taking these certain precautions prevent things. And so many times when we talk, the most important part of our provision and protection that we try to give our sisters, but they deny and they reject offhand, is our foresight and our wisdom. Because our foresight and our wisdom kept us out of a whole lot of bad situations, and it will continue to do that going forward. Now you can take it and you can take it for what it is, which is wise counsel, or you can abandon it. But then, like, I don't want to see my sisters hurt. I don't want to see my sisters in certain situations. But when I say, hey sis, let's go this way, and she hell bent on going that way, It's not even that. It's not even that. I know what's down there. You're absolutely right. Sometimes when the sister be like, "Oh, you don't know what's down there," you're absolutely right. But I know it ain't nothing good. So how about you come this way? Oh, nah, I got to go down there. Well, skip your happy ass down there. Come what may.
Good luck. I appreciate that, man. We got Brother Allen in the building.
So
Go
what's
ahead,
going
rock
on,
out.
good bro?
Did you hear the question, sir?
I came in the middle. I kind of heard everybody talking. First of all, how everybody doing? You know, before we, you know what I'm saying?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Everybody blessed, doing good. You know what I'm saying? Mad, what's good? Committee, everybody. So yeah, repeat the question for me and we'll go from there.
Okay. Does what you wear and or how you conduct yourself in public affect primarily you, or does it affect us as Black people, you know, as the collective?
Well, yes, of course. Let's just go here. But you know, I'm not even finna talk about the women right now. Let's just talk about the men walking around every day, pants so skinny. I'm wondering how you breathing, bro. How you breathing? How you breathing? I stopped wearing tighty whities when I was 10 years old. I just like, how you breathing? Another thing too, and I'm still on the brothers. Like, you know, back in the day, you know, even the bum on the street used to wear a suit. The drunkard in the town used to wear a suit. The class thing is lost. You know, not to say that, you know, I know we as men, we all are a little bit more relaxed on our uniform on a daily basis nowadays because the fashion has changed to a degree. But, you know, I'm definitely hard on men when it comes to that pulling their pants up thing. I talk to young brothers and stuff that anytime I see a young brother that I know I can talk to, stuff like that, I'd be like, man, you know, dude, pull your pants up, bro. Pull your pants up. Nobody wants to see that. And you know, an appearance means everything. It's how you able to establish true connections with other beings, with things like that. You know, a lot of young men don't understand. Well, why I can't get this? Why I can't make it this way? Because of how you presenting yourself in public amongst other men. Solid men that are going somewhere, that are being productive people, we respect certain things. We respect the way that, you know, each other dress, carry themselves, word things, stuff like that. We don't want to see, you know, men down like that. But now, you know, to switch it over to the ladies, it works the same way. You know, to be honest with you, ladies, we still have that same old school inkling. We like the mystery of a woman. We want a woman to be fully dressed. You know, sometimes when I see a woman fully dressed, it turns me on even more than seeing a chick that's out here with everything already presented. It's like, I already see what you got. I can't do nothing with it, but maybe give you a fistful of 20s. Go about my way. I mean, I'm just being honest. Like, you know, hey, appearance means everything, and it's not going to stop, regardless of whether we like it or not.
All right.
That's a good point.
Floor is open. Floor is open for a little bit on that. Before I go to the last question.
Wait, did you get to Jay and Ruby on the last one?
Oh, hold on, Ruby. Hold on. Didn't you answer on this one?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah, Jay, you answered, right?
Well, I was gonna say I didn't.
No, you skipped my ass, but I don't give a shit.
No, no. Hey, bro, I apologize, dearly, Brody. My bad. Jay, no. Let's stop the floor. Jay, get up in there first, and then from that point, floor is open. Y'all can rock out on that till we get to the last question. Go ahead. I apologize, Brody.
Don't worry. Go to the next question. Here's my quick answer. Yes, it affects me. Trust me, you're my opposite. You reflect me. So if you dress like a fucking sexy red or some shit, first of all, I wouldn't be cardiac with you. Simple enough. I'll leave you for streets. If you can't dress like a modest colored woman, then don't be near me. So There. Next question. Keep going. Keep going.
Hold
I
on,
like
because
that.
I didn't.
Go
I
ahead.
was clarifying Ruby part, but let me on that particular issue. Yeah. To that regard, yeah, absolutely. The way we carry ourselves in our image matters. I think that's something that Kevin Samuels made very obviously, brilliantly clear, that
Right.
the way our image does matter. And black women want to make it seem like it's only black men who are who are at the forefront of dictating what our image is, as well as what they do has no consequence. Of course it has consequence. It has consequence when I have to interact with men of other ethnic groups. It has consequences when our ethnic group generally has to deal with other ethnic groups. And that's when you really see it. Because they look at it. Don't care. I don't care how and I don't care how good you are. I don't care how intelligent or intellectual you are, or how put together you are on any particular thing. When these other groups come to you, they discount you automatically because they can. Because they know you got no backing. They know everybody else around you is a clown. So what does that leave you as? That leave you out to yourself. They know you're an army of one. If you're an army of one, but my man's over here got an army of 15, they're like, I don't have to address you. At very least, I don't have to address you as an equal, because you ain't got nothing. And this is what they see when they come to us. This is why when the Asians come to our community, we ain't listening to you. We setting up shop in your hood, and you gonna buy from us, and we don't care what you got to say. You don't want diabetes, we don't care. We gonna add extra sugar to the orange chicken. You don't want to get fat. We adding extra peanut oil to the rice and all of it. We don't care what you say, because all you are is the consumption class. Hurry up and buy. Hurry up and buy. That's all you good for. So like, we stop acting like our image as the court jesters of the world, as the clowns. Oh, they good. They can dance and sing and they got jokes. Well, what about the brother who wants to open a Fortune 500 company?
Right.
You don't have to take that brother serious. He's another court jester. What about this white boy who wants to start Facebook? What about this other white boy that wants to start Tesla? Do you know Tesla was insolvent for 10 years? They ain't finna give me $5 and not get it back on Friday. Tesla was a money pit.
And this is why, like, the way how we treat our people.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, appreciate it. This is the way. This is why, like, the way how we treat our own people, it really matters, because other groups they already look at us like a joke anyway. So for all, like, the street people that's like watching this, let me put it in this terms, right? So if you were in the game, not saying y'all are, right, but if you were in the game, okay, or let's just say you're at school or somewhere, and you're getting jumped by like 5 or 10 dudes or whatever, because they catch you slipping by yourself. That's the same way how black people, especially black men, feel every day when you're alone and you're not working with your fellow brother.
Right.
But if you had your brothers with you that was holding you down and to really actually have your back, ain't none of these dudes will be messing with you like that. So the reason why you're gonna have some of these people, whether it be Latin, Chinese, whatever, and they could go on social media, they could talk shit and actually tell us, okay, how we should behave and how we should treat each other, because there is no consequence. We don't apply pressure, we don't apply consequence to them, unless it was like maybe like some type of white man or whatever, and then we want to get into like our Black Lives Matter BS, not to diss that or whatever. But we don't really get into that type of mode and energy when our own people are messing up for another person. We need to hold our people accountable the same way as other groups are having the mitigated gall, the audacity, the big balls to come over to our side and tell us how we should behave.
Okay. Good one. All right, y'all. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna get to this last question of the evening. We're gonna go ahead and get some final thoughts and wrap this up for the night. All right. So on this one right here, I want you to think about this. I'm talking about everything else still exists. Whatever wars, the C-19 shit, all of these things still have occurred. The only thing that has been taken out of the equation throughout the growth, I guess, of society is social media platforms. All right, not a TikTok, not an IG, not a Facebook, not a nothing, not a Snapchat, not a nothing. Not even YouTube here. Do you believe that we would, as people, be more socially, let's say, closer? And do you think that we would move the same as we do now if social media was never around? We're going to start with Ruby, M3, Jay. We're going to go to Alan, Mav, and we're going to go to Sister Venice. And we're going to go ahead and kick that off. What you got? If social media never came about, how do you think 2024 would be?
Man, I would say for me it would be more sad. I think that social media, say what you want about it, but there are definite benefits that I have gotten. So for instance, I've met communities where I don't really talk to my next door neighbor. So it's like, and then I'm not going to be traveling like that to places like New York and where all of these, California and name it, where that's not really an option for me. So I think I'd feel a lot more alone. I think I'd feel a lot more, I'd say I wouldn't have as much bravery as I do, because there's a self-expression too that comes with that. And as with anything, humans are going to abuse it, sure. But for me, I have benefited very much so.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you for that, Ruby. Thank you so much, sis. All right, M3, it's on you. If social media would have never came about, how would 2024 be in your eyes?
I don't know, man. I think I would have been. Sure, I don't know, man. Sometimes, man, I think I won't even be alive, bro. And that's real talk. Plus, I would never
If
met
it
Ruby in
wasn't for
person,
social
too.
media platforms, you don't think you would be here?
I'm talking about social media in general. Because here's the thing, right? Where, especially back in 2019, 2020 or whatever, when, we had the lockdown and things like that, dude, I never really had no problem pretty much staying at the house because I had everything at my disposal. I had my social media where I built my network, met other relationships with other people. Because us as human beings, we're naturally social creatures. Even though we always keep preaching this stupid ass rhetoric about, you could be alone and you'll do well by yourself. Oh man, you're gonna need somebody else to really talk to. Right. Even if you're venting or you're not venting, I feel like you gotta find somebody to continue to build, to connect, to learn. And social media, I mean, look, I know it has its negative downfalls because you have the trolls, you have the assholes or whatever. But social media, really, the intent is basically to bring people together and build connections. So that helps stimulate my mind to keep my mind focused from getting off on the streets or whatever or doing dumb shit, in my opinion.
Okay. All right. Now I like these answers so far. No, that's what's up. All perspectives. Excuse me, got tongue tied. Jay, it's on you, Brody.
To keep a simple answer, if social media never existed, half these dumbasses wouldn't be doing half the shit that is going on in the world right now. Keep that buck. Most of these motherfuckers would communicate to a female the way they're supposed to, like we were taught in the 90s.
Right.
You walk up to them and get some shit instead of this texting bullshit.
And then females would accept it.
Yeah, they would. And this way they get their hearts broken more accurately to the motherfuckers who fail at talking. Because the problem with the generation, not y'all don't apply. We older. Them motherfuckers can talk on the fucking phone with this shit instead of fucking talking to face someone, proper English and grammar. And now we got all this emoji bullshit right here, and it's dumb. So it would be better off, honestly. It's a gift and a curse. Where social media allows us to make money, things like that. That's the benefit. The curse is you have people airing their dirty laundry, what we talked about early. So it's just like, yeah, it's so it's like 50-50. It's like a precursor, a gift and a curse, like I said.
All right, no, good stuff. No, I like what you said, bro, because I agree with a lot of that. I agree with a lot of what's been said so far, because some good points has been made as far as the networking aspect of it. One thing I can say briefly is, like, for example, I ain't gonna lie, like Facebook has been amazing with like getting back in touch with like somebody you probably wouldn't have seen ever again since like elementary school. Shit like that. The few people that's still cool and they ain't all fucked up out here. Like, that is a beautiful thing. Like, I wouldn't know nowhere else to find this person. But as long as y'all got enough of the same mutual friends, they'll come across your shit. So that is a beautiful thing. But other than that,
I gotta add on to what you said too, man, because real talk. Like, I got connected with my brother that I never in my eyes, I never seen before. I mean, I was a little kid. Yeah, you know what I mean? But having that visual like memory of him, I would never be able to connect with him. But he wound up reaching out to me like on LinkedIn. Out of all apps. So yeah, it could be a tool, man, to bring people together.
MySpace, we found our brother through that. Sorry about that. Go ahead, guys.
No, you good. It's your show tonight. Alan, it's on you, Brody. Mav, you next, and of course, Sister Venice. Rock out. And then after that, the floor is open. After Sister Venice, go.
Well, of course, I feel like, I think like y'all think basically on the situation. Like, it is a gift and a curse. It's becoming more of a curse than a gift, but that's neither here nor there. Like back in the day, before the internet, we're all old enough to remember when, cell phones and things first came out. You couldn't even text on them. You only could call. My first cell phone was a Sprint phone. I paid $300 a month for a Sprint phone. You couldn't text, you couldn't call, you couldn't send pictures, you couldn't do nothing. I was 19.
Y'all remember two-way pages?
I was having the two-way pages, you know what I'm saying? I was happy to have that phone. And then at the same time, though, too, if the Sprint phone here that elevated, like, you could send a text message, but it took you 30 minutes to an hour to send a text message because you had to, you
had to beam it up.
Letter. And then skip and then skip and skip and skip and skip and then it was just. But the thing of it is, though, it was like you were more connected to your neighbors and your close surroundings, which actually low key means more in the longevity than it does to know what somebody in China doing. I know what somebody in Atlanta doing and things like that. It does mean more because at the end of the day, that's your community. You know what I'm saying? That's what you got to build with. That's right there with you. You only have that to build with. And it's still that same way, low key, even though we under the illusion of the internet. You still only have your community, your close-knit people to actually build with. Now, yeah, you can reach out and from LA and talk to somebody in New York and things like that. But how much trust can you have with a person that you're not physically able to contact, physically able to shake their hand, physically able to know their day-to-day ins and outs of whether or not they are actually about what they say they're about? And that's the problem about, like the scenario of dudes flying chicks out. These dudes, they expecting these chicks to get down and things like that, and woo to woo, because they done spent all this XYZ amount of money. But it's like, yeah, you done flew out, but it's like at the same time though too, she ain't necessarily got to get down with you though, bro. But yeah, of course I understand you spent all this money to get out there with you. Like, it's a complicated situation. It's add more problems than it really is solutions if you look on the big picture of the situation, but yeah, man, like it's a crazy scenario. Like I say though, I like the technology to a degree, but it's also hindering us and it's putting us in a very hostile situation. And that's the reason why we're in the problems that we're in. The women don't want to accept the men that they actually are around because, they can reach out and see this man in New York and yeah, he'll fly her out. He'll, this and that and, smash her out. But it's like, yeah, baby, he ain't finna deal with you long term. He ain't finna be there like that. You know what I'm saying? Or vice versa. It's man, it's a complicated situation, but it's a blessing and a curse, but it's becoming more of a curse than it is a blessing. That's just my point.
Thank you, Alan. I like all the different perspectives.
Hey, hold on, Ruby. When you gonna pass that? Because it's we call puff pass, not just sit there and puff. So
I wish I could.
Let's keep going.
Good boy. Yeah, I guess it's time for me to take off. I agree with Jay and Alan. And my take on it is this: like it's a tool, like a knife or like a pistol.
Yeah.
Like Ruby said, like it's gonna be some people that's gonna abuse it. It's gonna be some people who take it and do stupid stuff with it. That's just human nature. But like it like the brother said, like he met, he linked up with his brother. Like that's wow, like that's how else are you gonna do that without, and I'm doing research on my own ancestry. And through that, and I'm linking up with cousins and different sides of my family and things of that nature. I don't went back to, I think, the 1820s so far. So like, how else do you do that without this social thing? But to Alan's point, like the danger of this particular tool and the particularities of its abilities is to craft illusions. And
Right.
and a lot of these women think they got more options than they really do. Like you said, this guy's not gonna take you seriously. And so when you ask yourself, do you seriously got all the options that you think you have? Not really. Not yeah. I'm just being honest. And but it also, again, I mean, the other side of that is there have been people who, I don't know, like linked up with people and say like a Match.com or something like that, and end up getting married to somebody from a place that they never would have ended up being able to make that connection.
And
So like,
Matt, can I add to, bro?
Go ahead.
Also, some men, they don't have the options that they think they have neither. By flying, seeing like Tom, I'm telling you.
True enough. That's why I said it has the power to weave illusions. Like it ain't just women that's susceptible to illusions. Like everybody's susceptible to illusions, and we gotta be. And I'm because I don't want it to make it to seem like just like you have to get married. You have to. The statistics show that most people end up living their entire lives within 50 miles of where they were born. like a
Right.
50-mile circumference. So you're statistically speaking, most people are gonna be with somebody around them. Most people are gonna pick somebody around them. Most people are gonna marry, so on and so on, with somebody who's around them. And that's just how history has gone. But does the occasional like link happen? Sure, but it just ain't that common of a thing. So this is why we got to speak to the statistics of it. Like, yeah, it's rare, it might happen, but the other side of that is, it gave us the phenomenon of catfishing, and the very first catfish was epic. like this woman was up in the northern peninsula of Michigan. Like they didn't even have daylight, half the year, and she's posting these pictures of this beautiful woman, and they go to meet her, and she's this homely looking woman who's married. Like that was crazy, right? So yeah, like I said, it's a tool. It can go either. It goes. A tool is what the user makes it out to be. It can be a blessing. It can be a curse. You can, like a pistol, you can feed your family, you can defend your family, or you can go and commit crimes. So, but like M3 said, like a lot of the things that we see, a lot of the benefits that we see wouldn't have been possible. So, and that's the blessing and the curse of technology.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, now we got brother Stan in the building. Stan, you heard the question, right?
What's up,
Have you heard the
Stan?
question?
Yeah, can you repeat it for me, please? What's up, everybody?
All right. So the question is, if in 2024, if social media never existed, if that was the one thing, everything else the same, but if that's the one thing that never came about, how do you see 2024 being?
I don't know, because social media was always there. I'm thinking like AOL, like the 90s. School writing papers, it was there. Meeting girls from other campuses. Like I went to San Francisco State. I could meet. There was like little chat rooms, and you meet other girls from other schools, and we were going to different parties.
How old are you, brother?
40.
Hey, yo,
So we had all that. So I went to San Francisco State. Oh, go ahead.
No, I just was saying, like, the technology back then was just not that strong like that. We wasn't meeting people like how we meet people today.
Oh Lord. Okay, I'm going to expose myself. I'm going. Okay, look.
Right with you.
I'm going to say this.
Stan, you've been done exposed yourself. Go ahead.
I know.
Stan.
I got to say the warning. The views that I have is not shared upon Knowledge and Relationship, Smitty's Corner, or Intellectual Soapbox.
There you go,
I
Stan.
love the disclaimer. Thank you.
Stan's learning. He learning.
All right. So, before people got flew in, some of us were flying out thanks to cheap tickets and Frontier, having threesomes and foursomes, and meeting.
Hold on, when was this going down? Because you're 40 like me.
Mm-hmm.
So about back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Who was flying somebody out?
LOL. Them back chats, you had like that chat room.
Oh, so you was on the dark web back then. Oh, you
That
okay?
that was American Online.
No. You had to go on the dark web.
Stanley, if you was on Backpage, just admit it and we can get it out the way.
No, Backpage.
Stan's a co-founder. What are you talking about? He helped gear
had
the
money
fucking
for a
whole
long time.
Look, now we're gonna act like we holy and stuff like that, but I'm just
hold up. Ain't nobody saying nothing about being holy. Because I'm a preacher's kid, so ain't nobody saying nothing about being holy.
I'm just being honest about the whole American Online. It was right there. There was the chat rooms, and you go into the chats, and there was the little thing where you could like actually meet somebody in the group chat, and then you had the side chat. That was one. Then we had Black Planet. I'm in California. I'm meeting like Black people from like the HBCUs. like coordinating for spring break because I didn't want to go to spring break what they were doing in California. I don't want to go to LA. I want to see Black people. That's my own age, and they're college students. So I have Black Planet for that. I made some good friends from Black Planet. Got a chance to go to DC, aka the smarter Atlanta and the cleaner New York. And then, right? I had that. Thank God for Black Planet, Magente.com. I met Caribbean people and Afro-Latinos from there. And this is before we got to 2000s. And in 2000s, that's when like people were doing, you know, they were sending the flowers for parties and you got like the hookup. It was like raves and stuff like that. All that was not the same that we got now. But yo, like social media always been there. I just want to say like for people of color, Black people, we make these things popular. Because if we didn't do what we did to the cell phones would have been dead. It just would have been a fad and have been over with.
What, jailbreak them? What we do?
Photos, videos, Blackberries,
okay.
Razors, T-Mobile two-way. Sprint was horrible. I don't know who talked about Sprint. I remember Sprint. Like those $300 phone bills was ridiculous. Like I'm not a drug dealer. Like I can't keep on paying this.
But you got free nights and weekends, Stan.
Let's not talk about what
and
I did.
Free after 9.
Free nights and weekends was some bullshit.
Free nights and weekends.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Because I'm gonna tell you right now. And you know what I'm saying what Stan was talking about, but back in them days, I was actually in the streets where he talking about, you know what I'm saying, was doing. That's the reason why I could afford that $300 bill. No lie. But you know what I'm saying? Hey.
I know the way he said it. It was like, oh, it's just $300. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Quick.
Not the PK in the streets.
Oh man, that's the best one.
Yes, man. It was a lot more to the streets that I did, but I ain't finna go all off and all that.
The best street phone, hands down, was when that Nextel chirp came out. You was able to chirp.
Track phone.
Smitty.
No, was that chirp, my nigga? Trust me when I tell you.
The best street
that
phone
chirp came out. That fucked the game up.
Smitty, trust me. The best street phone that came out was them block Nokias.
Yeah.
They last through anything. I had a Nokia that I dropped. We all put in, dropped in water, all types of stuff. That phone kept working for a God knows how long. I still got it in my drawer today.
Yep. And you can make phone calls from the plane on those Nokias. Those things was
man, them Nokias was something else.
And also you gotta look at too, like what we done for like even for hip hop, right? You look at music wise, it was like you had that coordination with TRL, with American Idol. Like we made things because of the internet. We made the internet so popular and so needed and trending for decades. And look what we done to TV. We had the Underpaid Negro Network, which is UPN, and the Wanna Be Black, WB. Because in the 90s and 2000s, I wasn't watching Friends. I never watched NBC, CBS, or ABC.
Now, Stanley, you did make a good point when you brought up hip hop. Because if you really think about social media, like when Big was going against Tupac, you know, social media wasn't out then. So now when we see rappers beefing, we kind of just be like, oh, they just trying to promote something versus thinking it's a real beef. Like, and I think the beefs get heightened because you're trying to see the response. But back in the day, it wasn't even like that. It was like, are you going to die about it? If not, shut up. Like, I kind of feel like I miss that era because now it's just like regular punks just killing rappers.
No, baby, Miss CEO, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like back in them days, obviously as the results improve, them they was really beefing. It was different. Nowadays, these cats, they online beefing. I would prefer they online beefing instead of out here actually murdering people. You know, I mean, I'm just being honest.
Hey, you know what? Both of you guys, I'm going to give a blast of the past. The stuff that we did that killed the CD industry, Napster. Bear share.
Shout out to Napster. They
That
plenty
was
of
the
money.
time. LimeWire. And you know what? My sister also made a good point in that I think the social media made quantum leaps for social activity. Or did you say that? For
Yeah, I mean
society.
those chat rooms. I mean, like I have a daughter now, right? And I have to like make sure we monitor her chat room because chat rooms are still happening.
Yeah.
When you have kids, like chat rooms still happen. Like those things are a real thing, and it's still active.
True.
You know, and I
It's
remember.
stronger now because they can send pictures and do all other types of live chat and stuff on the back. You know, it's just I get you. Like seriously.
Yeah, especially with predators and stuff. So you got to be real mindful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with AOL, like it made it because I agree. Like I wasn't a preacher's kid, but I was a Christian kid, so I left the pulpit for the pole. So the minute I turned 18, I ain't gotta go to church. Peace out. Where the clubs at? And I went
Mr.
go-go
Stanley's
dancing.
had a life, you guys.
No, because that was a thing. Because you grow up in the church, it's like everything is no. Then it's like yes, and you're like, oh, okay.
I'm not judging you. I totally get it.
Yeah, and and you get all this access stuff, and you're like, you know, the world is now your oyster, and there's stuff you can hide from people from the church because you online.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. You know what I'm saying? Like being a preacher's kid, I've known other preacher's kids, and you know, male and female. Like, you know, shit. Let me just go ahead and put this out here, man. You know,
Put it out there with your final thoughts, Alan, because we're gonna wrap it up with our final thoughts, and we're gonna call it an evening. But go ahead now. Go ahead. You gonna kick it off, right? Yeah, go ahead. You got it.
All I'm saying is though, things do happen in the back rooms of the church. But anyway, though, I'm gonna leave it there. Keep going, Brother Smitty.
Yeah, well, I want to say this real quick.
Go ahead, Stan. Go ahead. Final word.
The pressure that you have growing up in the church, like people don't understand for kids, is so surreal because you didn't ask for it, right?
Yeah.
You're the minister's son, but at the same time, they're making you a role model, which wasn't cool.
Hence the double life. But thank you so much for your views. This has been so enlightening, and I do need to get to some babies. And I'm sorry, Smitty, go ahead. I'll let you wrap things up.
Oh, sorry about that, guys. It was my connection.
No worries.
Did you guys get a chance to hear what I said?
Before you cut out, yes, we did.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you
I
for
think
your
like
views.
that stuff was like important for anybody growing up in the church. They needed their own identity, and that's why I saw AOL and Black Planet as like I had like a real identity outside of church.
That's really deep. We can. That sounds like something to expound upon. And then,
Oh no, I don't want the church to come after me.
all right. No, never dissing the churches. And you know what? I'm gonna just give it over to Smitty so you can close it up because I gotta get to these babies too, y'all.
Yeah. No, we good. I'm ready to go cuddle up with my lady. What else I
Eating,
got?
Smitty? What you eating? You ain't sharing with us.
Klondike bar. Eat.
Yeah, man. Well, enjoy all the cuddling, you guys.
All right.
I'm gonna be holding
Y'all good?
myself with my self-love.
Okay now. Well, I digress. My mic is muted. We're gonna see y'all Saturday, which is
Yeah, tune
later
in.
today. Mahalo at y'all
Oh,
niggas.
well, shoot. Yeah, later today, your time, huh?
Yep. No
11
bullshit.
a.m. Tune in to Knowledge Relationships. We will be talking about church, too. So, speaking of that, again, yes, we will be talking about church. So, Mr. Pastor Jamal, whatever his name is.
Oh,
Anyway,
Jamal Bryant.
Yeah. And
Sister
his,
Venice, you got any final words, real quick? I'm literally about to push that button.
Man, I got a question, M3. Y'all talking about his pulpit action or his extracurricular activities?
That he carried from DC to Atlanta.
You know, because people got binders about that man. I gotta tune in.
You know what I'm saying? That man needs to go ahead and have his OnlyFans because that's what he's known for.
Hey,
Okay.
the link is in the comments though, so just click the link and hit the notification bell. You know.
Yep,
Tune in
Pastor
tomorrow.
Jamal Bryant is the Mr. Marcus of church.
I will see y'all tomorrow. Stan, stop talking so they'll stop listening. I digress. My mic is muted. Peace out.
He